Hey, welcome folks to Occultists Anonymous, the second Q&A, the Electric Boogaloo?
Sure.
Sure. Call it what you want. We left on a terrific cliffhanger, and then Songbird bebopped off to the magical land down in Florida. And so we are we're gonna put a pin in it, just as we did long ago, back when we were fighting a ghost. If I remember, it was somewhere right around then. We were like, we can't keep playing, so we're gonna hang on. We're gonna hang on to that. So yes, this is Occultists Anonymous, sponsored by, I guess, still technically, Roll20 and the Onyx Path. We're just not playing Mage today. We're just talking about Mage. And then, of course, viewers like you, even special episodes like this are sponsored by you. Thank you, guys. Specifically, a shout out to our patron pledge folks who support us monetarily and help us do cool stuff. Alexander, Brandon, Claire, Danny, Giovanni, James, Josh, Cat Feathers, Michael, Nova, Perry, Puppeteer, Ryan, Samuel, Schmitty, Cinna, and Thomas. Thank you guys so much for your support. We really appreciate it. It's super cool. Yeah, we get to do cool stuff like this, and actually put on a show instead of just us playing the game, which is kind of interesting. And that's all because of you guys who are out there commenting and subscribing and liking and all that stuff. Thank you. We appreciate it. So when we last left our players, that doesn't matter. We will try to keep the spoilers to a minimum in case some of you are still playing catch-up. I know there's a number of folks who are on tonight who are asking, like, hey, wait, does this mean we're going to catch up? Yes, YouTube will catch up to Twitch. And then you'll have to be watching Twitch to stay caught up and ahead. That is exactly what this means. Is one of the bonuses of us doing a Q&A. So we have our questions lined up. If you've got questions, throw them at us too, and we'll go through those. To answer the quick one in chat, Elvis, you better believe these guys are getting a beat for showing up today.
We need to catch up.
Yeah. And also, I mean, hey, they showed up, all right? So, stereotypical, somebody, showed up with pizza and not enough people showed up to play. You better believe that guy's getting some XP. The D&D game. So, I'm just going to start firing these off from the top. Craig apparently got a little OCD on us and went through and reorganized them so that they flowed, which I greatly appreciate because we were all over the place before. So Nova Phoenix asks, not sure if you guys got to this already, the actual question. If you could pick a second praxis or just a signature spell in general, what would it be? And just a reminder for those of you who are unsure about the rules, they could actually get more praxis and do actually get more praxis. You should have 3. Because you get one with every gnosis.
I didn't take a third one then.
Okay, well, There we go. Thank you, Nova. Thank you, Nova, for asking. That way we brought that up. But yes, what other praxis would you guys have? Or just like, what would you like to be known for casting? What's like the signature, Atratus's such and such spell, or Weird the Seer's such and such spell? What would be your signature spell?
So, I've already got 4. So Monkey's Paw, Choose the Threads, Tipping the Hourglass, and Grave Misfortune, which I have the tattoo on as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was looking at doing some combined spells for a praxis. I haven't dug too deep into that, but some sort of like a shield spell, protection spell, whether it's from time or fate. Mm-hmm. One of those is probably something I'm going to be doing in the near future. Yeah,
you would have to have both of them as a praxis, and then you could combine it as a praxis. Yes! Get that multiplicative stuff going on. What about Ash?
I don't need to think about which one I'm actually going to take.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. What is your third praxis? Find out now, live.
Yeah. I think probably Quicken Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we haven't... That's one of those things when, like, what we're doing practically in-game doesn't really align with
what you're... Yeah. But I
mean,
character
would do, but, like, that's what I would want.
And Death 4 is not far.
It is.
And we talked
I'm
about that
considering it.
snagging Gabe as a familiar. Yeah. Hey Vex, welcome. Yes, and I am straight up. I'm watching this chat, folks. So those of you on YouTube, yeah, I'm going to be talking to the chat. And sorry you didn't make it here. I hope you added your question on Discord. And Cat Feathers is here. Hi guys. So moving on, because I have no idea what my praxis would be. Well, I take that back. If I was playing Mastigos, 100%, it's teleport because I want that mana refund because I'm gonna be teleporting everywhere. Vex asks, he just popped into the chat. I have one for Weird. I don't remember if you answered this yet, but have Weird thought of joining a legacy, and what other arcana outside of time and fate would Weird like to study? Yeah,
So-
which I know
Tell us
the
all your
answer to this
plans.
one.
Yes, definitely. But none of the established legacies were particularly appealing. Walkers in the Mist, a little for the studying of thorns and things. And there was I don't remember the name of it, but the folks who walk the city streets.
Yeah,
but
the
they're-
Arachnid Legacy House of
Something like that.
Kidnea or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But that they were very urban focused, and Weird's not like she goes wherever fate takes her, right? So we're actually looking at possibly establishing my own legacy, because I guess that's kind of how Weird rolls, and
Mhm.
looking to get into space magic
To match that up with the legacy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then actually Vex said extend that last one for the whole cabal. So yeah, what other arcana would Ash be interested in? What would Travis be interested in? I know you've done some life, but
Yeah, I'm looking in. I like mind. I really like the pairing of mind and matter, making like sentient constructs.
thinking objects. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which hey, between the two of you, you have your own Mastigos. So Robin Inked Masks in Twitch chat, if I remember correctly, asked generic one, which NPC / supernatural would you like to see show up more? I could guess. Yes, I can guess these vampires from Ash and Craig.
Supernal Fae. I want to get some more interactions with those.
Well,
We summoned one Moira, and that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's all on you. I don't even have to do anything.
Good.
You just summon them up.
Chris has been summoning most of our folks.
Something I'd really love to see is like if Drew were to throw an emanation realm based off of Arcadia at us. That would be a lot of fun for me personally.
Let's see. Zuru's asked, "Hey, what's the deal with Weird and the coin, anyways? What does she hope to accomplish? If you're caught up, you probably know."
Should know.
But yeah,
so
Kirk was
the coin is just out there as like a little mystery that might snag somebody. So somebody might identify that they're particularly lucky when they have the coin on them. It's a lucky coin, but they might start thinking. So I'm basically just fishing for potential awakenings through that,
or at least people who are curious, and that's because we've talked about it. Not all labyrinths are these evil, like, sleepers are tool cults. You could have very positive labyrinths. And then Elvis Living asks, does Weird plan to make a theater group a labyrinth or other mystery cult? If so, what merits do they get? Also, if you're caught up, you may see some of this.
So the theater group is just a theater group, but there's going to be a sub-level under the theater group that's actually a mystery cult, and there'll be layers and layers and that. But so it's just simple things like allies, theater nerds, a point in resources, a couple points in safe space for the members. But there's branches there, so if they end up being a sleeper, then they're going to be able to help me with rituals. If they're actually awakened, sleepwalker, pardon me. Yeah, and if they're awakened, then they're going to get a familiar, spirit of inspiration. So that's where we're growing it up from there. I don't want to reveal the rest of it because that's going to come through in game.
And technically, Weird doesn't even have those yet. So I wonder, does Weird even know what she would get from this cult? Because she's leading the charge, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because so far it's just you, right? With the
sure. And Steven is probably about to be
yeah probably needs to be officially initiated, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Titan Lord 231 asked, "Hey, what order would you have picked if you didn't pick the ones you have right now?" I'm going to tell you right now. Ash says free council.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What about Craig though? For all the crap I've given you about Guardians, I know you like Guardians.
Well, I like the self-sacrifice part of the Guardian shtick. And I realize that no one else in the magical world views them that way, but that's how they view themselves, as their role. So that's something that appealed to me. But for me personally, as you know, Craig would probably be more of a Mysterium. Knowledge for knowledge's sake. I collect knowledge just as hobbies in my own life, like everything from biology to quantum chromodynamics. So that's kind of where I fall on that scale, I guess.
Cool. Pink says, "Is the lost coin still in the lake, or is it being flipped by a certain?" The coin that was lost in the lake was recovered, and that was that was the 29th silver coin, if I remember correctly. And then the other coin was recovered. Yeah, by the way, spoilers, but was recovered from Steven and then tossed back out into the street. Yeah.
Do we know if anyone else has found it yet?
Well, you don't know.
Nope.
Norbot, hi Perry, says, related to that one.
We don't know what order they were in now.
I don't remember what order this was in, but is there another character you would love to make / play now that you know the system a little better?
I want to start by saying I am perfectly content to keep playing Weird because he's just a blast. But I think a Thyrsus.
That's kind of where I figured.
Yeah, that was my second choice when I was making characters because I really liked the idea of the Cryptid Hunter, which is why I made Shanna. Another character I really loved that I would love to play was my Bubblegum Necromancer. She's just very cheery and very happy and bright and pink and not at all what you expect to be summoning ghosts.
Yep.
Which
I mean 100% matches with some of the Moro stuff where they're like, dude, like you can't fight it, just acknowledge stuff changes, and being bubbly pink, and yeah, that'd be crazy. Thank you, Elvis. Elvis did confirm that was just related to the order question. I love chat. This is so great. If only no, there's no way I'm gonna have chat up while we actually play. I think I'd probably lose my mind. I've never sat down to actually figure out how you say this username, but I'm going to guess that it's Mr. M. Dubois. Has Songbird gotten Life 3 yet? If so, have they considered electric eel punches? Yes and yes. Okay. Though Songbird may have his own answers on that later. Robin, Ink and Masks asks, what mystery are you most interested in exploring?
You go first.
For me, we're kind of doing it now. It's like I wanted to go
hunting through.
I wanted to go hunting through like ancient ruins, finding old lost magics, and I'm excited. This is what I wanted to do. So.
Oh yeah, I have been super excited about this, especially once like everybody got here, and I was like, finally! I've only been waiting on like 20 episodes for this. So. What about Craig?
Well, you keep on slapping us upside the head with a mackerel. Like, we're going to get distracted that way. So I'm perfectly happy doing the Indiana Jones stuff, crawling around in old forgotten temples. But one thing I'd really like to dig into, like, solidly is Emanation Realms.
See the supernal on this side of the abyss and stuff? Yeah. Malachi says, baby chthonic gods? I mean, I think Travis might like do that stuff, but the rest of the party would probably be like, no, we're not going back down there.
Yeah, I mean, I am also really interested in the underworld things and dealing with Sin Eaters some more.
Yeah.
Just like, it's not an anytime soon goal, but like, I could see sometime in the distant future going off to join up with them and help fix things.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Robin also asks, if you could cast one mage spell in real life, which one would you pick? Teleport. What do you guys not understand?
A lot of the fate spells are really good.
I think shifting the odds.
Yeah, makes life super easy.
Yep.
Or wait, what? Transmutation.
Yeah. transubstantiation or whatever. Yeah.
Not
Change.
transmutation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never work a day in your life. Just make gold.
Yeah, big gold.
Single-handedly crash the market.
Yeah, it'll. Well, and bear in mind, I mean, it's just for that transaction because it'll eventually wear out. Yeah.
Oh man, you're a leprechaun, right?
Right. Yep. Princess Naughty Ninja says, "Hi, driving. Thank to God for text to talk. Please do not text and drive, folks. Enjoy the show when you get around to it." A lot of people saying exceptional luck, serendipity. Yeah.
Yeah, the fate spells are real good.
They make life easy. Yep. What real life influences do you incorporate into your play? We will get to that question down on the list, but thank you, Digital Draco. I think that's not too far from the bottom. Wow, we are kind of flying through these. So Twitch chat, if you've got questions, maybe just hang on to them because we may need you soon. Zuru's
you can also just chat more.
Oh yeah, we were definitely going to chat. We're going to be hanging out. Yeah. Zuru says, here's a question for the entire cabal, including me. Thanks, bud. If you were to live in the world of Mage, and the Watchtowers called you, which path would you think you'd awaken? And if you botched your first try, what other path would you like to give you a second chance?
Yeah, for me, it's Moros, absolutely. Like, that's just very in line with who I am as a person. If for some reason that failed, I don't know.
Yeah, that
can't this
fate time. Yeah. I can see that for you. What about Craig?
I think Thyrsus.
Mm-hmm.
For if Craig were living in the world of magic. After that, I don't know. Maybe Mastigos,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, if I were being truthful to myself, I'd probably end up a Brimos, and then hope to get Mastigos the second time around.
I like he sounds so relaxed, like probably a Brimos.
Much as I grump about like being an evil, like self-centered, I have no heart. No, I think I'd probably end up a Brimos because I just see the potential in people. I don't know. Malachi says yes. Fail. Could I fail 4 times and get the 5th one? I mean, yeah. Potentially. Fire Dragoon says, oh, he's got a bunch of questions. Hang on here. Okay, what do you feel has changed the most about your character, and what would you like to see change about your character? Ooh.
So the biggest change that Weird is going through right now is to actually be interacting with people and considering other people. She was on her own for a really long time, so she doesn't have a lot of those skills. It doesn't occur to her naturally.
Some of the social niceties.
Social nicety. Like, I mean, she can be polite, like to put on a mask, but when she's actually out doing stuff, she doesn't always think of other people.
Right.
Just because she's never had to think about anybody for years and years. So that's kind of the biggest change that she's going through right now.
For me,
and she's putting down roots. Like, she was a homeless person for a long time. So like she slept in alleys and under boxes, and
that was not just a shadow name thing. Yeah.
So those are the 2 big changes that she's going through right now.
For me, Atratus was like rock bottom when she awakened, and it's kind of been like a steady climb towards becoming a normal person, just like reestablishing connections in a new society after completely severing her old life. And it's like she's getting there. I might resolve that like long-term aspiration soon. Just like find out who you're going to be now.
Yeah,
you got a new life, start over, remake yourself.
Well,
she's getting there.
I don't know how much of it has been me pushing it and how much has been you wanting it, but the interaction between Ash or Tratus and Gabe, where way back at the start, it was a very like sibling thing, but I at least have been having Gabe play more as a ghost echo of I am not Gabe, and I think Atratus is coming around to it and
Yeah.
treating him a little bit differently. So,
Yeah.
well,
The other part of that was like, what do you want to change in the future?
mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, what would you like to see change? Mm-hmm.
I feel like long-term resolving Gabe would be a good thing
Mhm.
for her. Like, get to the point where she's willing to let go and then try to figure out how to help him move on.
Help him, yeah.
She's not there yet, but that is a place I would like to go.
Yep.
Because I don't have any interest in making my brother my familiar. That just feels wrong.
Weird, yeah. Or at
Like,
least
if I
permanent.
do get a familiar, it will be some other ghost I have met and made a deal with, not
Sure.
my dead brother.
Go ahead, Craig.
So for changes for, and we talked about this a little bit, Drew, as I can't, this is generally speaking about cutting connections, but I'm trying to get weird into the direction where she's forming more connections and being more about those connections than is necessarily common for her path.
Right. Well, and I mean, Acanthus is about not being tied down, not necessarily
Sure.
having no connections. But yeah.
Right.
Elvis says ghost familiars are the weirdest in general. Yeah, they follow some different
They're
rules.
People. Yeah.
Mhm, yeah. Continuing Fire Dragon's quartet of questions, what kind of stories do you feel are left for your characters to explore for the storyteller to investigate? So I guess like personal background story stuff. I will tell you, we got that whole what, how, who, what killed Gabe. I know, like I left that one there, and the same thing for. I'm curious if Weird will ever dig back into the office building exploding, or if she's gone past that and isn't looking back.
No, she hasn't forgotten.
Yeah, that's something I would like to look into.
Yeah, examining a little bit more about her awakening in that whole time period would be something. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, but there's so many options. Like, there's so many possibilities ahead of us. We're still fairly early in the game, even though we're so many episodes in. But there's a lot left to do.
Yeah, I feel like we're just like really getting going at this point.
Yeah. Originally, my plan had been all that first stuff with the ghosts, with the Geist and the werewolves, as being kind of a prologue, and then you were going to be introduced to this other little side character who was a nameless. He was a nameless mage, and he knew some information and was going to barter with you, but you guys went full paranoia. So I was like, no, this dude's a seer now, and so we got sidetracked, which is cool. Also, I'm guessing. So Malachi, are you Fire Dragoon? Is that what I'm reading here? Also, what do you think? What do you see as the end game for your character?
Can I just add on a little addendum to the previous question?
Yeah.
Where it has a lot of conflicts that still need to be resolved. She's been trying to make a little bit of progress, but we're going to have to probably at some point dig into that a little bit deeper as well.
No doubt. Yeah, end games.
This one's easy for me. I see 2 end games for Weird. She's going to die a horrible, painful, gruesome death, or she's going to ascend.
Yeah, for a good reason, I am sure. That death is going to be like, that's her. She's got that martyrdom thing lined up. She's like, no, this is a good one. This is worth it. And she's going to walk into that like, head first. I've got to do this. Thumb up as she sinks down into the molten vat.
Yeah, for me, it's like I was saying earlier. I can see heading off, joining up the crew, and going to try to carve out a nice little niche in the underworld. Like, that would be a very on-brand thing sometime in the future. Alternately, just sort of settling into a role as like a mystery hunter for the Mysterium, and that's just what she does. She goes out and searches for lost things.
Yep.
Like, I don't have any aspirations to ascend. It's
one of those things like a lot of mages don't, so yeah, it's a rare thing. Let's see, what do you find fun about Mage, and what games do you want to try now?
Like other games?
I would based on the context of liking Mage, what are their Chronicles of Darkness ones? Yeah.
I really like everything we've learned about the werewolves. They just seem really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I keep asking werewolf questions in game because I don't have any of these books. I've never read them, and I want to know more.
Changeling and Hunter are kind of interesting for me. I really like the open-ended magic system. I know it's a little bit harder to adjudicate for the storyteller.
Oh, but it's so much fun.
But it's so much fun. I really like that system.
Yep. I am super excited because we now know that the next Kickstarter is going to be Mummy 2E, and I'm so happy because as much as I do love Hunter and I think they make great antagonists for Mage, Mummy is like the other one. I'm like, if they make a couple tweaks to this, I'm so on board, and it's going to bump dice out of that second slot. So, cool.
Yeah. Whereas for what I like about Mage, I honestly still have a lot of trouble with the magic system. It doesn't click really easily for me.
It's super open, so it takes a long time for it to click.
Also, it's just a lot. Like, we keep coming across things, you're like, oh no, you would know about this. I'm like, would I? Because in character, I've been doing this for like 4 months now. Just like, when would I have learned this?
Well, some of it, and some of that is that's where you have like some of the occult stuff comes up, but then also sometimes it's just, for me, it's the understanding of Arcana. You know, that understanding that comes with it. So, yes. Geist is still. I mean, like I said, it's in the top, but we'll see. Like I said, we got to see what Mummy 2E does. So, Bernie asks. Also, Bernie, I love your name. It's the same name I had for my first WoW character. Anyways, that was a little fire mage. No, thank you very much. Of course, his name was Bernie. Yeah. If the Cabal had the ability to shape change into any animal, what would the animal be? Birds.
Yeah, birds. Shrike for weird.
Yeah, little Shrike impaling things on thorns. Bye, Perry. Thank you for coming in on your last day.
I mean, she's named after a vulture. She would probably be a raven.
Yep. Believe it. Conversely, if you're shape changed into an animal against your will, what would be the worst option?
Like a mouse, something that society uses as a pest and tries to kill.
So a rat.
I think more like a jellyfish.
Oh, I'd be. Well, it depends. Am I a jellyfish in the water or am I a jellyfish in the sea? If I'm a jellyfish in the sea,
like there's jellyfish you don't have a lot of agency as a jellyfish in life.
That's true.
Yeah, you're just kind of drifting. But at the same time, you talk about carefree. Just be like, I'm just chilling. I'm just going to go with
get eaten by something just because you happen to float the wrong direction.
Fair point. And for me, 100% Siberian tiger, because like since I was like 7, Siberian tigers are obviously the best. Yes, I did read Animorphs as a child. How did you know? And then worst, probably a spider. Not because I hate spiders, but because other people have a terrible understanding of spiders and how cool spiders are, and they squish them when they should just be let loose into the back of their cupboards and free pest control. Anyways, this has been my little soapbox.
Basically what I was going for. It's like something that will just try to get you killed.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't seem good.
So let's see here. Fire Dragoon Malachi asks, after playing Mage for some time, what irks you most about the system and what do you love about the system? We had a little bit of the love part earlier, but what irks you guys about Mage?
Beats. For me. Beats. Coming up with aspirations, like you're trying to prognosticate what's going to get you beats for that session. And I'm like,
I have guessed wrong so many times.
So have I. Yeah, and Chris has been guessing right. That's why he's significantly farther ahead of us.
And then they're also like coming up with what is worth a beat. It's just like,
a
lot of times I would get all of mine in one scene. It's like, well, you can only get credit for one.
Right. Yeah. Well, and easily one of the best things is like especially, what is worth a beat? Man, if you throw a challenge at yourself, man, I will make sure that thing shows up. If you're like, I want to get in a fight with Logan, like, we could be just talking a verbal altercation because you do not want to fight that man. But that's that's totally cool, and those I can make happen a little bit more. Also, having the aspirations ahead of time helped me, which I know we've all been bad at because actually the past 2 sessions I haven't even looked at your guys' aspirations. Sorry,
I hadn't had any ahead of time.
Oh,
so.
you've been leaving us to manage that.
Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, creative thumb is the tough one. Yes. Yes. Digital Draco. I can do anything. Shit. I can do anything. Yes. You gotta nail it down. If you had to remake your mage, what would you make and why? Kind of had that a little bit earlier, but I don't know.
I would make some changes to my roads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
would
had
not have
no clue how the system worked when I was first setting up the roads and stuff, so I didn't really make optimal choices. But
yeah, pick some spells that I haven't used very much. Also, I wouldn't have put that out in life because Chris is doing that, and that's kind of a wasted point now. But whatever.
Well, it's still useful for like a mage site. So, but yeah. Vex asks, where did you get the Borsine shadow name from? And if it was from a religious text, which one?
What? I didn't understand this one. What's this Borsine shadow name?
Borsine,
he was the mage that was being
calling you guys out. At the
meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and this is, I'm going to shine a little bit of a light for you guys on how I create NPC mages. So if they're in a Brimos, I go to a random name generator and click angel name. They're a Mastigos, I go over to the demon or devil and click random name. Occasionally, if I know very specifically of like who this person is, then I can come up with a name like Oceans Under Mountains and Sun and Winter. Those guys have I have a reason for those shadow names. But if it's a random NPC that I'm plucking out of the crowd, you better believe that's from a random name generator and not from any religious text. But thanks for the question, Vex. Let's see here. Bernie asks, is there a spell that you as a player swear by and would work into any character you would play if it makes sense? Teleport. But yes, for you guys.
Shifting the Odds has been like my go-to spell.
And it's only, 2 dots? It's not high up in Fate, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I really like Machine Invisibility just because it's feeds really nicely into a bit of like mage paranoia, right?
Yep.
It's like, I don't want to be
recorded.
Seen
yep.
Doing any of these things. Yeah.
Sorry, Vex. This is, man, don't ask how the sausage is made if you really don't want to know. Let's see here. Cinna Mortai asked, since she's watching through episode 51, what's Weird's general goals and ambitions for Steven? Don't need real specific because got to leave something for later, but Cinna is curious.
Sure. So Steven came about as the result of a fishing expedition, and it's turned out differently than Weird was expecting it to, but that's how fate works. So she's just wants to string him along to see where he ends up. And where he ends up is very much going to be a matter of him and his soul. But she's interested in that process to see how that happens.
Yep.
So that's where it'll go.
Yep. I'm very excited for Steven and the whole mystery cult and labyrinth and stuff like that. Silver Ladder Mastigos is very likely the character I would make. So while they have Cryptopolis and the Guardians have labyrinths, I'm kind of what was the term? Vicariously living through Craig as he makes a labyrinth, and I'm like, yes. Oh, anything. You're gonna make a theater? Sure. I'm on board.
I want to see him awaken. I want to see someone awaken.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we'll get there. Promises. Who and when and what path, and we'll see. Let's see here. I lost. Elvis asks what my favorite spell is. That was answered in chat. It's teleport. Keep up.
Yeah.
Elvis, from which source do you take inspiration for your chronicle, and what do you recommend as inspirational media for Mage in general? This is the same thing that Digital Draco asked earlier. So multiple people want to know, where do we get inspiration from? I guess it's
I think
me.
that one was directed to you for the Chronicle, right? So
for your
Where are
Chronicle.
your ideas from?
Oh, sorry. Question for me. Sorry. Legitimately, no, werewolves cannot awaken. Princess Naughty Ninja. But that's an easy one. But as for my inspirations, hang on. I got a better cover. Yeah, come on, guys. Like, it is all about some comics. It's all about some Venom. It's all about some Mummy, the good one, not the new one with Tom Cruise. Yeah, like, that is, it's all that kind of, like, wacky stuff. Like, I wanted a pop. Yeah, not quite full on Indiana Jones. Otherwise, I would have set this in the 40s. But I want some, rip roaring action and adventure. And then you come home and you have to deal with the consequences of what happened while you were gone, or deal with the political fallout of, cool, you had this super weapon that you have shown up home with, and everyone's looking at you like, please put that down. What are you doing? What if Indiana Jones went and got the Ark of the Covenant? Well, I guess technically he did, and brought it home. Like, there's a scene that we don't see in that movie where the U.S. government is going, you have what? Excuse me, we're going to lock that up now. And then throw in characters with mages who have hubris and that are going, no, this is mine. I risk my life and limb for this. I'm not going to give it up. See aforementioned reactions that Songbird / Chris and Atratus / Ash had when they thought that they may have lost Thrazon's Codex of Cerebromancy. Like that, and that was just them recovering something that they didn't even own. Now we've got the Death Grimoire that they're after, or they think they're after. All that, so that's going to be even bigger. So yes. No, you didn't really miss the comics. It's just the random covers that I happen to have here.
Venom Comics.
Yeah. Venom Comics. Yeah. There's a whole Carnage thing going on right now, and I am just living the high life. Is everybody's getting a Venom symbiote, and I'm just happy. And then what would you recommend as inspirational media for Mage in general? We talked about this a little bit in Discord. Elvis actually, I think, asked some of these questions, but there's a bunch of stuff. I highly suggest the recommended inspiration stuff in the chat. Not chat, the 2ed book and the 1ed book, I'm sure. But there's a little section about inspirational media. Literally anything that promotes like people acting on their inspiration and imagination is good, and then crank it up to 11 and make it a dangerous thing. That's Mage. Give people the power to have whatever control they want, and watch what they do with it, because they are fallible humans. That is Mage in a nutshell. So, hello, Psychotic Monk. Cat Feathers ask, if you could Copperfield an effect, what spell would each of you like to do overtly and have it treated like covert? Oh, right. So basically, what spell would you like to have that is just coincidental enough that nobody ever notices it, and so it's always paradox free?
Do you have anything really noticeable?
Well, I mean, you could have other spells. I mean, talk about especially matter spells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, in case you weren't paying attention, teleport. Just walk around the corner. Oh, where'd he go? Wow, he just took off.
See, I'm looking at my spells.
Yeah, I can't really. All my stuff is pretty subtle.
Yeah,
most of mine aren't really flashy.
Fate, time, death. Yeah, very, very subtle.
I mean,
subtle stuff.
There's some time effects that are pretty wonky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yep.
And I mean, the ones I have that are flashy are things that you could not really do paradox free. Like,
zombies.
Turning someone into a shadow. Like, that's never going to be believed as like an illusion.
Yeah.
When you cease to exist.
Yeah, they're gone. And Fire Dragoon asks, if it were the zombie apocalypse, what would your character do first? Atratus would rule the world.
Yeah.
Like, zombies, all right.
Control them?
Yeah.
Welcome your queen. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about this one because I don't know what Weird would do.
Batten down the hatches, man.
She would probably batten down the hatches and go survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Elvis is like subtle zombies. It's like, that's true. That's a thing that is true in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about like real zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't really have an army of the undead or no desire to have them. So,
yep. Oh yeah, it's more that it's not unnoticed, but more that they expect it out of you and they believe it would be, something that you could do, you as a person. Yeah, I don't know. So looking over to chat, Elvis says, "What mechanic would you like to house rule?" I've already house ruled it. I've mentioned it once, and I'll mention it again. Order skills give you 6 Yantra bonus, not just 5 if you have maximum in skill, because that's how you read that sentence if it were a clause in a contract.
We're getting more questions.
Oh, indeed we are. Let's see here. If you could have an imbued item, what would it be and do? Says Malachi or Fire Dragoon, whatever name he's going by. Imbued items. Well, actually, since you're here in the chat, are you talking about our characters or for us? Like, what would I use, or what would my Mastigo Silver Ladder guy use? While we're waiting for that, there's another one. What do you guys consider the least useful arcana? Says Vex. Spirit. It's pretty useful, but
it's a little more situational.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even looked at what it does, honestly. Because none of us can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's got some very useful stuff. You can do a lot of the same things you do with matter, and a lot of the same things you do with forces, but you're doing it through, ephemeral entity agents and stuff like that. One of the classics I love is Gremlins, and be like, that thing is just malfunctioning now, literally, because I just woke up the little spirit inside it, and it just got grumpy.
Elvis got purged.
Well, Elvis, it's okay, buddy. Okay. I saw what your comment was. It was just a big what with a bunch of exclamations and question marks, but it got a little whooped. Sorry, bud.
You're talking about imbued items.
Mm-hmm. For our characters, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, don't super know all the rules to that. I really like Aegis as a spell, so I could get something that's like that permanently.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that's what Chris is talking about doing with his leather jacket. He wants his souped up armor leather jacket. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, it would be something similar, something like everyday wear that just makes life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I really like that mirror that Songbird got. Weird.
The mutable mask part.
Mutable mask. Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, quick, womp, and just yep.
Yeah. The only downside to that is that you are still recognizable. So
yeah,
close enough, but yeah, I mean, it's enough. You can get by. Yes, Spirit is a Swiss Army knife of Arcana, but that's the problem. It's also like the jack of all trades.
Does everything poorly.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has some stuff that it does better than others, but yeah. Teleport Rod, says Malachi. Yes, you've got it. Let's see here. There's another question I saw in here. Yes, Pink asked, what are each of your thoughts on Changeling the Lost versus Changeling the Dreaming, based on what you've heard and known? Guys, if you have not been in our Discord before, Pink has a thing for Changeling the Dreaming. Like Ash said, I have very little knowledge of Changeling the Dreaming. I have barely any knowledge of Changeling the Lost. So other than the fact that Changeling the Dreaming is all about magic and, that in the real world, and, it's fighting against, boringness and stuff like that. Personally, Changeling the Lost, far more intriguing to me. People who have been snatched away and now are trying to recover their actual lives or trying to make new lives after they've been changed. That has some like real world themes that you can kind of draw on. What happened? What do you do after something terrible has happened to you? and changed you, and you can't go back to your own life. That's a very interesting theme to kind of do reflected in TTRPG. But first ed is kind of heavy-handed with it. Second ed is a little bit smoother.
I haven't looked into any of these, but I really like that one just because it's very traditional changelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a changeling story I would like to see.
Yep. Yeah, I need to dig. Yes, thank you, Pink. There always must be one question about it. Yeah, Changeling the Lost, I need to sit down and read. I promise that I will read that before I read Deviant and Mummy. But they're on the list.
Also, check out The Ancient Magus Bride for very good changelings.
Yep.
You meet a character who is the Fae who ended up raised in the human world, and then you meet them back in the Fae world, and there's like this deer with a human face running around, and she's like, yeah, that's the guy I was traded with. He was raised here, so now he's this. This is my husband. They're married now. But it's real neat.
Vex asks, I have a question. Ever thought of introducing an unchained demon into Occultists Anonymous? As a player, no. I've kind of decided that any future characters that, whether somebody dies or if we get a fourth player or anything like that, they're going to be a mage. Hands down, I'm just not going to try and split stuff because like if you put in a Geist or a werewolf, who would be our big two, like we have various obvious connections to, they have draws to like the spirit or the underworld that the rest of the Cabal, especially werewolves, would not be able to, you wouldn't be able to follow. Because like at least if we did underworld, we have a Moros, but the Obrimos is anti-death. And I mean, Weird has a dot in death. There's not a lot of interest there for the party. So yeah. But as an NPC, I have 100% thought about it, especially their ability to lie even past Pierce Deception from an Obrimos, just to watch Songbird Chris go
lose his mind.
Yeah.
What? And just watch him lose his shit for a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, what are the characters' favorite fast food?
Whatever's convenient for Weird.
First place that you walk by,
basically, yeah.
Which is a super Acanthus thing. It's always going to be the right one because it's just the one I come across.
The one that's there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what are fast foods in New York. I don't know.
I mean, just fast food in general, you know. Because I mean, she didn't grow up in New York, so
yeah. Trying to think of like a fast food I really like. It's like mostly it's just kind of there, you know?
Yep.
And Weird's always, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, like shows run the gamut. One like a massive ugly burger with a huge milkshake one time, and next she's like getting a salad with the dressing on the side and a glass of water. Like it's always, you know, a broad range of things that she's exposing herself to. That's sometimes what she feels like. She just like look at the menu.
And this is what's right today.
Whatever leaps out at her, and that's what I need today. So
that's convenient.
Yeah.
Like, they have Shake Shack. That's good.
Yeah.
I have those in New York.
Yeah, fast food, like some place that serves a good chili dog. Like legitimately, they're terrible for you and everything, but like if it's a good chili dog, and I'm not talking about Sonic, I'm talking about a real good chili dog, wins every time.
Only in Zaxby's though. I love good chicken fingers.
Zaxby's, yeah. If you come by Texas, we'll take you to Cane's or PDQ.
The movie will have Fusaklis, which I miss. But
Elvis, Nameless and Accursed, what are you most hyped for? What do you hope for? The players say none of this. We want none of this. This is the big monster book. Yeah. I'm looking forward to. I literally just want more rules for any kind of mage opposition. Both as examples of created mages that I can, grab entirely, and also like the Tremere are going to have their own rules, and Scalestis may have some rules, and I'm hoping for some weird in-between stuff that, like, this will be the first book that's, like, super, like, these are bad guy mages, they're twisted mages. I'm super psyched for that. Drew, what is your favorite NPC to play as?
Of the ones you've introduced so far, who's your favorite?
I really, really like Logan. Logan is fun to play. The one I wish you guys would interact with more and go learn more about is easily Rebecca. Like Rebecca has a written out backstory, and like I know her history.
I have a pin in Rebecca. Like that's something I do want to visit.
Oh yeah. No, I have no doubt that you guys will go back, especially if it's one of those. If nothing else, it's like this was the first NPC we ever met. Major so let's go. Yeah, no, she has. I overdid her character creation, and so now I have a little bit of a love thing for her. Yes, Vex. Go ahead.
I've been wanting to get to go meet up with them again and
do
more with the Sin Eaters, just because again, from a character standpoint, they're the ones out here helping ghosts, and was my initial whole crux of the character was you go around and you either help them move on, you resolve their problems. Well, here's people with different ideas of what to do with ghosts. They're trying to help them be solid here and live what lives they can in this world, rather than moving on to an underworld, which is horrible.
Yep. Well, yeah, and there's a bunch of different types of Sin Eaters. A lot that feel different ways about that. Yeah.
I like this group that we've made. They seem nice.
They 100%. I created these guys, and I loved it because you're like, oh, we might have to fight them, and I'm like, these are the guys I made specifically that you might like. But yeah, 100%.
I'm glad we didn't attack them.
Oh, you have no idea how glad you
showed some restraints. Oh no, she's got a rank 6 ghost or something, right?
Yeah. But no, and I mean, legitimately. Put that aspiration in and declare, hey, by the way, I'm going to take some time. I'm going to go do that. Go farm some aspirations by going out and doing that stuff.
But that's the issue is that
we need time, in game.
And we all have different things we want to do, but it's whatever the group ends up doing. So sometimes we have a plan for this, what I'd like to see in the session, and then it gets derailed 3 minutes in, and we never get a chance to revisit that.
For me, I'm fine with it. 100%. I have this main story hook, and I'm like, yeah, so we'll pick up Peru when you guys decide to go to Peru.
Sure.
However long it takes to actually get to Peru, okay.
Elvis got this question back. What would we do right now if we just had 10 XP?
Oh boy.
Arcane
XP 5, or regular XP?
Yeah. Fate 5, Gnosis 4.
I would up my Gnosis to how many? Let's see. If we have 10, it's 5 duration Gnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't have both death and matter 4 until I up my Gnosis. Yeah. No, correct. You can pay extra, right, and get it.
Yeah.
No.
No. That is for going above your stated the ruling common and inferior. So your inferior, you can still raise. It's just expensive, and you have to have a tutor. But your Gnosis always, limits your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you would have to have Gnosis 4 to get a rank 4, or to get multiple rank 4s.
Yeah, I probably. Is there anything I super want? Oh, I want Mind. Yeah, I would probably put a dot in Mind and raise Death or Matter to 4. Yeah. I still haven't decided. I have 4 XP actually right now that I'm sitting on, and I still don't know which one I want.
Ooh, must meditate, or maybe at least see what's in the tomb before. Yeah,
they're both very good. I really like the 4 spells.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 4 is where you start to get the flashy things like teleport, chaos. Is it just chaos magic?
No, chaos theory.
Chaos theory, chaos manipulation, something like that. Yeah, the crazy fate stuff where you go, this thing happens, and you go, okay, so that happens then, which is terrific. Also, Psychotic Monk. Yes, I too am in Houston. How about that nice cool weather we got today? Did somebody say Trinity? I guess somebody may have said Trinity. Hi, Aether. How you doing, bud? Do 10 XP. Recently picked up Chronicles of Darkness. To 10. No, not 20 XP.
Are we getting Abyssals?
Chaos Mastery. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. There it is. Malachi. Yes. Have you considered putting some Abyssal beings into your stories? How do you know I haven't? But yes, Abyssals are definitely in the line, and I have some thoughts of where they may show up. So yeah.
I really like those, right? Because their whole deal is they're not inherently like evil. They're just kind of outside.
They're wrong.
Knowable
In some way.
morality. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you could literally go and find a place that, you know, like you could go find your mom and dad. You could bring them out of the abyss. You could go find them somewhere, and they would just be wrong because they're not actually your mom and dad. They're these things that are almost, it's like, yeah, they're totally mom and dad. Yeah, I mean, you go, you find them. Oh, I love them. They love you. They just have to drink the blood of, virgin sacrifices or something like that. There's something that might be wrong with them. In my headcanon for Occultists Anonymous, does World of Darkness exist? And is the likelihood of a free council based on the technocracy appearing in game? Does World of Darkness exist? And what's the likelihood of free council based on it? Oh, no, we're not getting super meta where people in the Occultists Anonymous are playing the game World of Darkness.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a bit too much for me.
That way lies madness, and then it's just turtles all the way down, right?
Yep. Somebody got cooler weather. Yeah, I had like a 20-degree drop today. I woke up this morning, I was like, it's kind of nice out. At lunch, I was like, I need a hoodie.
Over the past 2 days, we have had 0.5 meter of snow. That's like, I don't know, 18 inches or something.
No, thanks.
Yeah. No, I'm not down for that. But it is like 64 degrees and really nice, and has been like for like a week. It's been great.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I got in my car and it was like, it's 71. I said, no way. Yes. I started driving and it was like, it's 62. And I said, no way. I need thicker socks. Let's see here. The Prince. Oh, Prince of the 100,000 Leaves. Yeah. People keep referencing that. I'm not 100% familiar where that's coming from. I think it's the Abyss, but yeah. Elvis, if you would play out of the US, where would you want to start a new campaign?
Canada!
I think we walked into that. Yeah, if it wasn't, if we started a new chronicle, we didn't have it based in New York, where would we go? I would straight up do like I would have to do it with some time travel, and I would do something like straight up Indiana Jones, like 1940s Egypt, or heck. I'll be honest, there's a little part of me, I love Wolfenstein. I would love playing some free council in World War II Germany and just being like, there's some Nazis and we got to kill them. And I'm on board.
On board with this.
100%.
But
yeah.
what about
fully engaged?
What about summoning supernals and learning? No,
Nazi killing.
we killing Nazis. Let's see here. Canada, 35 degrees right now in Fairbanks, Alaska.
I'm sorry?
Nope. Sorry about taking your soul, eh? Oh, God. Yeah. Wants to superimpose itself onto reality. Oh, that is a not great Abyss thing. Of the Dark Era's chapters, what would you most like to have your characters go and why? I'm sorry, have I not been clear about how awesome mage pirates are?
Yes.
That said, the Neolithic, like the mage werewolf Neolithic stuff is kind of cool just for the whole idea of like an alternate history of where human culture kind of started. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So fighting the arrows, werewolves, that fireball took it out of me. I need some poutine. Okay.
You're just naming every Canadian stereotype,
right, We're going to skip the maple syrup one, just move on because we don't talk shit about maple syrup because that is the thing of gods. Can mage pirates teleport? Yes, they do.
Yes. They teleport their entire boat.
Yes, you better believe I'm teleporting. It's like, we need to get out of here. Wow.
Yep.
Let's see here. I saw one. I saw something. Where was it? Do I need to scroll back? Below 70, we break out the hoodies and jackets. Amen. I'm
I'm actually surprised by how well I've adjusted to here, because now it's like, oh, it's 50 degrees. That's still t-shirt weather, right?
Oh no.
It's
No,
32.
no.
That means I need a hoodie.
Oh no. We were complaining about how cold it was at work. It was terrific. Mage Pirate. So Peter Pan and the Jolly Roger. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you could totally do a flying ship. Have there been any Sorayas or planned? Not yet. That's the leftovers of somebody ascending, actually ascending, not becoming an archmage, but actually gone, and they leave behind a part of themselves.
Can't they like come? They're not supposed to come interact with the world anymore?
Archmages have rules that they're not supposed to do stuff, and they're not supposed to nudge things. They can still go like come down and chat, and but they're not supposed to be bending the world to their whims. Otherwise, the other high level stuff lays the slap down. Right.
But in my head, like an archmage just sort of bends the world by their very presence. Isn't that?
No.
Okay.
That's much more of like when you actually ascend and you become a supernal symbol of yourself, like just existing and stuff. Archmage is literally, congratulations, you have Arcana 6, which lets you do more stuff. Actually, Archmage level 6 would let you create a coin that when somebody picks it up, casts a spell on it, and casts a spell on them. Like your coin, what you're actually talking about, and we could do something with conditional duration and hung spell and stuff like that.
Hung spell,
sort of. More specifically, being able to cast a spell that does something depending on what happens. So hung, like the coin, we could kind of fiddle. We kind of gave it a, because technically, well, and I think what we actually did is as long as they're holding it, they have that luck. That is okay, but if we were to do such like they pick up the coin and then it casts a spell on that person, that is technically an Archmage level thing. So ascended beings can call Kema just like an Archmage. Yep, that's true. Any signs of sorcery merits you were interested in? I don't know. Have you guys had much time to actually dig into that book too much?
Like I skimmed it, but I haven't super read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Common sense looks kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not a signs and sorcery. That's
no, you're right. I'm thinking, that's the
base book. Yeah. Common sense is a really good merit.
There's so many. I've read so many books recently. I'm trying to keep track of which one's which.
Yeah, these had things like different stuff for dedicated spells. So you could actually dedicate something that wasn't a tool, but you could. Chris talked about it about dedicating something. I'm not going to mention what. He can bring that up himself. You have stuff like that, or more stuff like high speech fluency.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a cool one.
I do want to do the second dedicated magical tool that you can do now.
Mm-hmm.
Just because in character, I don't like having to take Gabe everywhere. Because like there are times, like I was talking to Chris about this, I'm like, you've been really nice and haven't had that come back to bite me.
Yep.
But the fact is, I'm still
dragging Gabe
always dragging him around, and that could be used against me at some point or against him.
Yep.
It's not.
Yep. Well, and mostly as a storyteller, that's the whole, you haven't tried to make Gabe do anything, and Gabe has just been floating around. So in my mind, he's like, oh crap, something's going down. I'm going to not be in this area and kind of bebop away. And that's also why the ghost party is a thing. So like there's times where he's just like, I'm not around.
He's just not here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah,
Wow.
I would like to have a tool that is both usable as a tool, because right now I can't, like, I don't get a plus one bonus
necklace
from using the necklace. Yeah.
Is there anything about having the game set in New York that we especially enjoy?
Oh, Digital Draco, yes, that is a good one. 100%. The whole reason I did it is because it is a travel hub. People come in and out, and so we haven't seen much of it, mostly because the party hasn't been too interested in Concilium politics, but we'll get into some stuff where like people are visiting or people are coming in, they're bringing news from other places. That's one of the reasons why the Mysterium is such a big deal in New York, because they use it, like they hear all the rumors, people come through and they drop off information and boom. Yep.
And that's interesting. my necklace is a coin. It's not. It's a stone, a wire wrapped stone.
Yep. Now that said, the other necklace is kind of lead
Also
pendant.
not a coin.
Yeah, it's a lead pendant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that said, coin could just, you talk about money and value, so you can have a little wiggle room there. Tossing in some. Go ahead.
I was like, I did play an artificer once whose entire money system was bartering in stones. So
that's cool. Do that for D&D.
She traded crystals. Or rather, I took all of the gold, all the starting gold I had, and converted it into gems.
Oh,
so
nice.
I did all my selling with gems.
What was that? Where did I remember? Oh, okay. Never mind. That's from a book series. Wheel of Time. They're like, hi, yes, gold, money. Here, I have a handful of gems. How much am I actually paying? Yep. Though I think that's probably been done in a couple different things. Have I considered tossing in some Reign of Exarchs? No idea what Reign of Exarch is. Like Shindo name. Have you seen the Contagion material? I have, and I'm waiting for the full book to come out. I don't know how much we will actually use, but I have thought about using that as like a big bad that they have to deal with and have them come across some of the different factions in Contagion. Not that they would necessarily join them, but Contagion would be good. Senna, the fist bump. Yeah, thank you, Senna. Let's see here. Super excited about the TV show. Anyways, before I start getting sidetracked by that, yeah, that's true. Necklace is a piece of wealth. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Apparently, Reign of Exarchs is a 1 ebook. Yeah, I have a list of 1 ebooks that I need to pick up, and there's some that I already have, and yeah, I have I'll admit a bias. I don't like adventure books. Because as soon as I pick them up and I read them and I'm like, this is a good thing, and I might steal parts of it, but I always feel weird doing it. I know it's a standard DM thing, but I'm just like, I can't. I feel like it's so much plagiarism. So yeah.
Oh, like you're taking someone else's story?
Yeah. I can't.
Yeah, so, I also don't like that other people can take it and read it and like know what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I get where you could take parts of it and somebody might recognize it. But yeah.
And as a GM DM storyteller, from my perspective, like I know that no plan survives contact with the players. So if the module or the book you're using for your adventure is fairly on rails, you're going to be doing stuff off the fly anyway. So, but I use books like that as a general inspiration for a framework that I build and then let people explore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big problem I had with like Pathfinder organized play. It's just like, here's the module. This is what you do.
Yep. Which, I mean, I can appreciate that. Like, if everybody at the table is on board and we're going to focus on the module, it works pretty well. I had a great time playing. We did a Starfinder thing, Craig and I. That's how I met Craig, and that was great. But we 100% we had to stay on the rails, and like if we wanted to deviate, we couldn't. So all the deviation was weird rat people giving PowerPoint presentations. It was a real PowerPoint.
They actually did a PowerPoint.
I love that.
It was made with word art and glittery GIFs, and it was terrific. Terrible,
social
but
customs
terrific.
regarding tails, and yeah, it was hilarious.
Yes, so good.
They put so much effort into that too. Like it wasn't just like as they slapped together a PowerPoint. Like they put effort into it during the week.
There were good like 6 to 7 slides. Yeah, It was pretty great. It had animations. Yeah,
that's very good. We have more questions.
So when will you open an Iron Gate, and which Exarch will you worship? Man, if I gotta pick one, probably the Panopticon. Like the knowing things and having connections. But yeah.
Weird is all about free spirit.
Oh yeah.
And so oppression is definitely not her thing at all. I think she would check out before succumbing to an Exarch.
Yep.
I don't know anything about Exarchs. Like I've read some of them. I don't know that I would ever willingly join up with them.
Oh yeah, no. If I have a chance, flip the bird and walk on. But yeah, have you made some homebrew legacies? Yes, there is one.
There's a frame. Like there's some, some scraps.
There's that one.
Yeah. Oh, you've got others as
I
well.
have
Yeah,
made
okay.
one. Yes,
Mhm.
you will see it eventually. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, if I end up with a legacy, it's going to be homebrewed, just because like there are so very few Moros legacies.
that are not
like-
creepy.
No, flipping through all of them, it's like,
Oh.
okay, you've got like 3 options and 2 of them are left-handed.
Right.
The
Well,
other one is Zombie Lord, which I don't want to do.
the book
So-
were actually kind of cool, but yeah, no, if you're not into zombies. Now that said, especially with 2E, they really lessened up the like you have to be from one of these, like you have to be from this path or this order, and they've really lessened that. It's like these are the people who normally join, but you could totally be from others. But it just requires so much investment in XP to like, okay, I'm over here doing this stuff. I really like what you're doing over here, so I have to stop progressing here, go over here, and then I can play. And it's just like you get really spread out, which lets you do a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, it's kind of rough.
Yeah, I really like the idea of the Stone Scribes. I don't like any of their like legacy attainments. So
I believe it. Looking
The
for.
idea of the-
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll read it here in a second.
But yeah, the whole idea of the people who seek out like the final names of folks and then use those to summon up long dead ghosts and then learn from them is so cool.
Yep.
Only I don't like any of their spells.
Yep.
I want to circle back to the legacies a little bit because there was another legacy that was very interesting. It's all about Fey justice and just going through life and giving boons and banes to people that are behaving the way you think people should behave. But the thing that there was a little twist to that is that they were all very flashy and very fashion oriented and very haughty and superior. That kind of
wasn't your thing.
Wasn't really my thing, but you talked to me about, just because other people are like that doesn't mean that weird would have to be.
Right.
So that was another one that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I really did like the Sisters of Ariadne.
Yeah, I love the whole like feeling the breath and life of a city and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, Digital Draco says, I ran a whole D&D campaign with published adventures from WotC, but I customized the hell out of the stuff to apply for my game and PCs. That is super awesome, and to me takes more work than me just running a custom off-the-cuff game. I feel like I have less stress when I go in and like, those of you who are on Conca have possibly seen some of like all the prep that I do, which is actually very minimal. I have like these bullet points that they have to meet these NPCs, and that's it. I just let them get there on their way, and we just kind of fly. But yeah, I was laughing earlier. The Onyx Pass says, looking for a new legacy, consider the Tremere. No. Not for the players. All our players are a little too nice, and the one death mage with the soul stuff is very anti-Tremere. I don't think Ash is going to be messing with anybody else's souls.
No. I'm still grappling with the fact that they're mages and not vampires.
Yeah, sorry. Chronicles of Darkness messed you up. That said, if I'm playing Vampire the Masquerade, Lasombra, Nosferatu, Tremere. So, I mean, for the new game, I got to play Tremere. But that's fine.
Mounts, though. Probably going to be a Tremere first playthrough, just because Malkavians tend to be spoilery.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Well, I don't know how they're going to write him in this one. Maybe they won't.
Yeah.
But I know in the first one, like, spoilers.
Yep. Fire Dragoon asks, are there any plans for Anima Mundi travels, which would be super cool to drop for you guys and those of you at home who may have no idea what Anima Mundi is. So you have the Oniros, which is where like everybody has their own little soul place, and then you move up to the Temenos, which is where people think and stuff like that, and you move up, and the Anima Mundi, correct me if I'm wrong down in the chat, is like the dreams of stones and planets and stars and this just crazy esoteric, the dreams and thoughts of things and these long eternal things, and that's where you get into some crazy shit.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, no, the astral realm is one of my favorite things. Like that's such a good mage thing.
I do want to look into those because it just seems really cool. Like,
yep.
Like we've done a little bit of it with stepping into souls, but it's like there's more than this.
Oh yeah, feel free anytime, guys. Especially if you go out of your own Neros, it's actually a lot easier for me as the storyteller because it's what everybody expects instead of what is your soul. That said, I've had a lot of fun messing with your guys' daemons. So yeah,
I like mine. She's very cool.
They're all cool. I was quite pleased. I thought Weirds was going to be a dead giveaway right from the start, but apparently Craig wasn't sure at first, or
didn't want to make assumptions.
Yeah, thoughts of the
Plus,
world as a whole. Yeah.
She's also like pretty freaked out about the whole idea. Like,
oh yeah, I am in my soul. Careful what I touch because I might change myself. Yeah,
and she's also like she has a lot of conflicts that are unresolved, and she's very aware of that, and so she knew going in that there was going to be stuff to deal with. So, yeah, she was a little on her guard. What's that?
I really like songbirds. I like showing up and
she's freaking awesome
to them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Val was ready to slap him around and wake him up, and some of that was encouragement from Chris because Chris had this. He wanted to play the gender fluid thing, and I was like, and I legitimately went, okay, yeah, let's do this. So it was playing out of my normal comfort level, which is fun because that's something players normally get to do. But it was fun to do it as a DM, and I'm going, okay, yeah, sure. I'll be honest, every time I have to play a female character, I go, must not be stereotype. And apparently they all say darling. So whatever, I'm going to roll with it.
I don't know if Weird is ever going to be comfortable enough to get to that point, but I'd really love to introduce Songbird to the Centaur.
Oh yeah, well,
I think it would really hit it off.
The next time you go, that whole place may not be there because all that stuff is constructions of the daemon, and but you would find the wild side of Weird, and that'll show up somewhere. But main trail you get out to the Anima Mundi and it tries to scour away your very existence. That is a downside.
Doesn't sound great.
You just got to be prepared for it. Let's see here. What books is everyone looking forward to the most in the Mage line or other Chronicles of Darkness line? Man, I want me some Nameless and Accursed. I need my monster manual. But otherwise, Mummy and Hunter, I'm just super excited for them. The Geist expansion book, I'm also very curious about. Has some more fun stuff. But I legitimately it'll probably make me sound like a shill, but I'm down for most everything that the Chronicles of Darkness stuff puts out. All this stuff has been very interesting to me, and I've really enjoyed it. So, any book recommendations outside of RPGs? Wheel of Time, 100% will recommend that to everybody.
Have you read the Stormlight Archive?
Yes, that would be the second one.
Book 4 is almost done.
I don't have it here.
Anything written by Guy Gabriel Kay.
I've never even heard of that.
He helped finish off the Silmarillion. It's sort of one of the books in the total. So he helped finish that off, and his stories have a very deep. Like, when you're reading The Lord of the Rings, you're on the surface story, but every now and then you see these little mountaintops poking up through the substrate of this huge, rich history. And Guy Gabriel Kay writes very much like that. Like this isn't just a story, because serial. There's a rich
the deep history. Yeah, Tolkien.
I really love the world building.
Brendan Luthien, give me that as a movie. Yes. Cinda says, I really want to get into Deviant. Reminder: I will be. And hopefully the internet behaves. I will be playing Deviant on Sunday, and we will be doing part 2, so that'll be super cool. And yes, Draco says Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I haven't read those. I tried to watch the show, and then I just got sidetracked and haven't gone back to it. But yes, Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and finished by Mr. Brandon Sanderson, who that was how I was introduced to Brandon Sanderson. I'd read The Wheel of Time and I was super excited for the last books, and it's going to be finished by this guy, Brandon Sanderson. I've never heard of him. I'm going to read some of his crap and make sure it's going to be good. Oh, this shit's really good. So I got dragged into that.
Kind of hit or miss on Sanderson. Like, I really like the Stormlight books.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first Mistborn. I could not finish the second one.
The second book or the second series?
Second book. I was
Oh,
like, I'm
really?
600 pages in and bored, so I'm just gonna stop.
The second book was meh on me. I'm very happy with the third, and then Alloy of Law was really good. So
Yeah, I've considered just picking up with the second
Mhm.
trilogy.
yeah. Which, I mean, their lore, they don't know what happened in the first stuff, so you just missed some references. What was that, Craig?
Just a lot of my inspiration for Weird came from Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
I love it.
I got through the first episode and I went,
Not the series. The
Oh
books.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had no idea that there were books, so I will add
No,
that
it's
to my list.
Douglas Adams, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Audible, please add this.
You had no idea there were books? Yeah.
No, yeah, they're good.
Doop.
Also, though, I really liked the show. I never finished it, but I should.
Dirk Gently. Yes, perfect. Is there a... Oh, it's just a one.
Mhm.
Okay, well, that makes this easy. And add to wish list. Oh, I might just straight buy that. It's only $10. Anyways, yeah, dude, Douglas Adams. I'm on board. Yes, I do like Jim Butcher. I have a problem recommending him currently. I will happily talk about that after. But yeah, in chat. But also, I'm gonna wait for Peace Talks to come out, and we're gonna see about his writing in Peace Talks. Jim Butcher, I really, really want to like, but yeah, we're gonna have to see how how Peace Talks turns out.
Oh, Eric Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched every episode of Shield tomorrow, and I'm just catching up on on the third season of Callisto 6. He's pretty good. I really like that guy.
I really enjoyed Shield tomorrow, and the fact that he's going to be running guys. There's a little part of me that's like, couldn't he have just like reached out? Like I'd love to play. Eric, call me. Like, well, yeah, absolutely. I dug Shielded Tomorrow. Shielded Tomorrow made me go buy the book. So yeah, talking about RPG recommendations. The Star Trek book has some really, really good stuff going on in terms of group play and stuff like that. So you can play a character who is not a bridge character. And what if you do starship combat? That's fine. You're going to run the engineering bay as a different NPC. There's some really, really good stuff about that. Same thing with Wrath and Glory. Just don't buy it yet. Wait for the remastered, updated version because the first one was a mess. But it also has good
the
bones.
Warhammer. Yeah.
Yes, legitimately we may do a one shot of Wrath and Glory.
I'm gonna be a Harlequin.
They're not in the book yet. But you can definitely play an Eldar. But yeah,
regular ones are boring. Space clowns.
They've got what do they have? Rangers, Warlocks, and Corsairs are the Eldar that they put in the thing. They definitely were very heavy-handed on the Imperium in the first book because
you were mentioning about the Star Trek adventures.
Mm-hmm.
I had the opportunity to run an arc of that over the summer when my regular D&D game was taking a break, and I had a lot of fun with that. That was a lot of fun, based on the original series timelines, and
nice.
Had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, it was really good.
We have a new question.
No, what I miss? Where?
Elvis says, "In which movie characters did you find your characters in? Like after playing them for some time, who do you think you are?"
Yeah.
There was a movie. Was it My Idiot Brother?
Don't recognize it.
That was that's very much along the same sort of lines as Weird does things randomly. They always seem to work out, not because of any planning or preparation or thought. He just sort of does them, and it is. I have to look it up just to make sure.
Gotcha. My Mastigo Silver Ladder was very, very John Wick. Like,
I like that.
Oh yeah, especially when it's like all the bullets that come out of this gun go towards bad guys.
Yeah.
I'm just going to shoot wildly. Though he's more of a 6-gun guy. I mean, with a shadow name of Sheriff, you gotta have 6 guns.
Yeah. For me, I'm not super sure.
Yeah, this comes up with the whole what Moros heroes do you have out there? You know?
I don't know. I mentioned in our chat, and we're just like, I really like Beetlejuice as a Moro story. It's just like, tell the bad ghosts to fuck off, deal with them, and then live in peace and make friends with the good ones.
Yep. Yeah.
Live your nice
what's the little guide? Oh my gosh, the guide in Beetlejuice.
Handbook for the Recently Deceased.
Yes, like that was like, yep, that's super Moros, absolutely.
I really like Lydia as a Moros.
I can see it. What material did you enjoy most about the Signs of Sorcery? Atlantean temples, obviously. Also, I can't remember what they're called, but they're the Platonic objects that you can find in the real world. So you can find like the Platonic ideal of a 4-door sedan, and it exists, and it's a magic item, and yeah, like that is really fun.
What are its stats? Is it just like
it's
the most ideal car?
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, hang on. I'm going to pull this up because they have one that I will happily read aloud, because they have.
I love that. Apparently, there was a Wraith book called The Handbook for the Recently Deceased.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Forgotten Wonders. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, perfected materials are pretty cool.
That's what I was most interested in. Like, that's one of the few parts of the book I actually read.
Yeah, Platonic ideals. I actually stole perfected materials. Perfected materials is actually how I found how I started to really get into Mage. Ideoforms, that's what they're called. So there is so basically they are artifacts, things of the supernal that have ended up here. So we have a sample plastic ideoform. In other words, it transforms a little bit, called English literature. Ahem. Beloved by bookish mystagogues, the oft underestimated English literature ideoform usually takes the form of a slim A4 size hardcover with around 300 pages. Mages can transform the book into any work or collection of English fiction that's ever been printed in modern dead tree book form. The mage must know a line or two of the work and its title. To the disappointment of pedants, it doesn't discriminate against English or American or British English, and its contents may or may not employ the Oxford comma. It'll provide Shakespeare. Yeah, I know. It'll provide Shakespeare or porn. English literature won't judge you. Which I was like, that's pretty great. But they continue.
No, it's got a downside.
Oh no.
It's always.
English literature's been through a surprising number of adventures. It's killed 2 people. One mystagogue transformed it into an obscure metal-bound collectible volume to bludgeon an intruder. Another died when a Scholastus willed it to become a miniature KJV New Testament shoved into the victim's throat and switched into the deluxe hardcover of David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest. Mages have used its relinquished spell capacity to send messages through mind spells, some of which can only be decoded by referring to certain works. One sorcerer discovered it was possible to will the book into specific copies, making it possible to hide and recover marginalia. Bookmarks and similar inserts vanish for good, however. So yes, that is an ideoform.
It's really cool.
Yes, that one I read that and I was like, that is brilliant. They have
But yeah, when you mentioned that, like, I do remember reading that, the whole bit about killing people by shoving
it down the throat and then transforming it. And I was like, okay, yep, sure, absolutely.
Horrifying,
Malachi,
but yeah, that tracks.
Mm-hmm. Malachi 2007 had what taboo or criminal acts have you considered to be something you want to try with our character?
Oof, I don't necessarily. So good.
No, go ahead.
I'm so good at breaking into places. Like, I'm real good at larceny, please.
Oh, Moros is absolutely terrific. Stealth
Just
stuff,
ideal.
Machine invisibility. I make this lock fall apart. I make objects, start up. Oh yeah, they're great for it.
Weird would hate this, but Craig would be really interested to see Weird dealing with a kill order.
Mm-hmm.
And actually taking someone's life.
Will they give you those? I thought that only went to the inner...
The interfector, yes.
Yeah, if it's like within the concilium.
Right. But a guardian, the guardians
they can just like send you to go kill somebody?
I mean, he may give that order. Now that said, because of who Weird is, what Weird's abilities are, Weird's connection to the Cabal, there's a lot of other people that would probably get that order first. Yeah. But if for some reason Weird is the one and it's like, we need you to kill Atratus. that Weird would be the
that
one
wasn't even on the. That wasn't even on the radar.
Yeah, but
You're just thinking like some random person.
Oh, I'm sure that's what Craig was after, but that is what the Guardians would reach out for. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I'm very curious about the O's that you guys as a Cabal may take, for one another. So
Elvis Living had one about Weird passing the veils. So
Elvis answered it himself too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, but backstory is that Weird was a nameless solitaire for quite some time, so she was fairly well developed by the time the Guardians found her. So she sort of skipped that whole process and was basically just initiated through the Black Veil. So she didn't work her way up through the ranks, that sort of thing. So, and as a result, she's also fairly lightly bound to the Guardians. Like she hasn't drank the Kool-Aid, that kind of thing. So she passed the Black Veil, but she didn't go through the whole process.
Yep.
Yeah. Asking me if I thought of changing the properties of the floor to make it conduct electricity. I talked about that with Chris basically as soon as I got Matter 3 and got Alter Conductivity. I'm like, we can do some really neat things with forces and that. Yep. It hasn't come up in game, but I like the idea of so you're gonna like touch a wall. It's like, and now all the outlets in it, this wall is electrified.
Yep. Yeah, and Elvis is right. Guardians don't ask members to betray their Cabal mates, mostly because exactly what Craig is talking about. Like he just wouldn't. Generally, yes.
Generally,
but yeah,
I mean, if they have a good reason to want that person dead, like we suspect that, or we know that they've like
gone Skellesti,
they're actually seers or whatever.
Yeah.
But that would probably give you incentive to do it if they can like show you evidence that it happened. You'd be like, oh no.
Mm-hmm. One E spell, Metal Dead. I believe I remember that. Yeah, and it converting like bones and stuff like that to metal, and yeah, it is exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, so you have a metal skeleton walking around?
Yes.
No, there was a spell that was it might have been someone homebrewed that was metal spiked zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were basically to do pretty much that. It was like to transmute the bone into metal and then animate the skeleton.
Yep. Yeah, there's some really funky 1E stuff. Have I read much 1E material? Not too much, but what is my favorite source book? Easily Sanctums and Sigils. Like that, if I have a book that I can sit down with and it's literally about establishing a home base and the interactions and ranks and roles and titles and stuff like that, give me.
That was cool. Maybe we should talk a little bit about spells, because like we get a lot of feedback on Discord and in these chats and Q&As about specific spells that are in the book. But I think it's important everyone's aware, like those are just guidelines and frameworks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. So these are examples, but the magic system is very much free form. Look at the various practices, think of the effect you want to do, find out what practice it fits in, and then do your spellcasting rolls from there. When you're playing the game, don't be bound by just the limits of what's in the book.
Yep. Yeah, well, and Metal Dead is actually a really good example of something that's not in the books, because this doesn't do conjunctive spells, which Metal Dead is. It is a Moros spell for a reason. It's death and matter. So, Vex has, that reminds me, has the Cabal made a sigil? No, they still have not. They have not had the sit down. They have not had the birds and bees talk and like really gotten together.
Oh yeah, that's what you're talking about. Like basically Prime inscribing it around on our territory to show that this is ours.
Yep, and having different markings that show, hey, yes, you're totally welcome to pass through here as long as you behave yourself, or yes, we will give you sanctum if something is coming after you, and all that different stuff and the different roles. Yeah. Oh yeah, Elvis saying, what roles would your characters be? Heart and so on. I'm gonna actually put a pin on that one because the Cabal hasn't really talked about it much, both out of character and in character, and that's something that I think will be a very good discussion in character as they kind of discuss, like, hey, this is the burden I am interested in taking on and stuff like that. So, have the characters considered joining the Concilium? They are part of the Concilium. Yes.
Well, yeah, I think as a counselor or something. Like being actually sitting on the Concilium.
Oh, yeah. Well, as
being involved in
a role, yeah. Yeah, that's much
no.
more of a silver ladder thing. But yeah, I mean, obviously other people do it too. But
I mean, we've met a couple of them in like the Mysterium.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of different roles, and some of that is early on they were like, yeah, we're not really interested in the politics side of things, so I have not fleshed out a lot of that. That's also why Shud Her had to be made on the fly, because it's like, that's fine. If she really needs to talk to Moros, she'll go see Factory or Colossus. No, she wants a Mysterium Moros.
I mean, because legitimately, like,
yeah.
Why would I ever go talk to Factory? Like, I've never met this person.
Right.
You're not in my order.
Mm-hmm.
Colossus, maybe, which is why, like, at the general meeting, I was like, Songbird, let me meet your Moros friend.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Yeah, no, and once you said, it was like, I have no reason to see them. I was like, but they're your counselor. But that's the same as saying, I need to be tutored. I'm going to bypass my teacher and my schoolmates. I'm going to go to the principal. So I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of get it. Cinna says, hey, that reminds me, do you have any spells you want to create? Not like quick and dirty ones, but fully fleshed out spells that you want to make a rote when you hit 5 Arcana?
Yes, but it's like sort of combining a few different effects from existing spells.
Right, which you would not necessarily be able to do as a rote. So yeah, that's where you get into. Well, actually, no, I lied. You can, so long as you have all the. You have mastered all the Arcana that's in the spell, so you could. Yeah, you just very rarely see it. But yeah, that's true. You could do a combined spell with multiple effects, or not combined spells, but a conjunctive spell. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I think
making spells.
I think Songbird made some shadow name changes as part of the character, didn't?
Yeah,
I mean, not really. He more split them.
Yeah,
solidified Songbird as the mage and Acanthus as the fighter.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I definitely, also, hello, Sybil Tridentine. Haven't seen you in chat. But yeah,
that was in reference to this question, was have the characters considered changing or getting new shadow names?
Yep. So. That's one thing that I've actually thought about getting a little more serious about. Yeah. But now, fortunately, nobody has gone like, "Oh, this totally applies to my shadow name," and I had the visceral reaction of, "Excuse me, no." Yeah. So everybody's played fairly neatly with it. So I'm not too stressed. Also, nobody has a ton of dots in shadow name to the point that it's like crazy. I think Craig may have the highest.
I'm maxed out at 3.
Right, with Cabal, and so
with
4
Cabal
total.
I get 4, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, it took my 2 from fast spells that I
couldn't have. Right, yeah.
But yeah, for me, for the longest time, it was just like, it doesn't make sense to have a shadow name, considering that I have essentially lost my real name entirely, and am now just like, that's just my name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about like being in line with my shadow name, because I also know initially it was intended to be like, you're a vulture, you're here to clean up the dregs of life, essentially. Like,
right.
What you do is you go around.
You're the ghost whisperer.
Yeah, and I haven't done like any of that.
I will say that that Weird is seriously considering a mask.
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm. For the and that's it's a merit under the Guardians that allow us like basically a secondary personality matrix, almost like.
Yeah, a lot of magical influence behind having an alternate identity. So very cool stuff. Elvis says, our Guardian Arrow Mystagogue cabal gets mucked around politically all the time. Drew, when will it finally backfire that they have no political representation? Golly gee, maybe when they show up
with some grimoires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about all the time?
Yep.
I mean, for me, I've been trying to make friends with like the powerful people in my cabal. So, my
both. Your order.
Yeah.
Order and path. Yeah, having people on your side. Yep. Cat Feathers. How interested would your character be if they found a gate to the hedge? I'm sure they would all go at least poke their head in.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I want to look through it.
Arcane Beats, man. There's arcane beats in there. All sorts of stuff to study and scrutinize. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then
Also,
when it gets scary, we bail.
That vice of curiosity is like, yeah, I'm going in there.
Yep. Have characters considered making pacts with supernal beings? Ooh. Or abyssal ones?
That's right out.
Yeah, I was to say, I can tell you right
For
now.
Weird.
Yeah, Weird is like, I'm not making a deal with the Fae. No way. That's prone to backfire.
She might make one very, very cautiously, but abyssal would be right out. That's not even in the realm of possibility.
Oh yeah, no. Abyss is scary. Unfortunately, the players are nice, and none of them have gone. Yes, Scalesti. Yeah, let's do just a little bit of abyssal stuff, which I appreciate. Now, once Nameless and Accursed comes around, and they may have some updated 2E rules for Scalesti, maybe I might,
dangle some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I was looking through Legacies, I'm like, all the ones are super evil. It's like, this one's really cool.
Oh,
it's
the Clockmaster.
Legacy.
Yeah, the Clockmaster.
Yeah, the Doomsday. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, I really do like the idea, though, of like, you're the people that hop through time and you fix things that are going to go wrong by, killing people. But to join in, you have to murder your friends.
Yep. And replace yourself with, nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. I saw something else. Puppeteer says, Democrats arcane beats so tasty. What are we talking about? Concilium stuff? Maybe the assembly?
Yeah. You're talking about making pacts with guys. Like, they can offer something you can get, like bringing back the dead.
You can do that. You can do that with asking for a boon.
5.
Well, you can do it with a boon. I can't remember who it is. I think it's one of the Fae, but they can straight up, you bring somebody back from the dead. It's them, 100%. They don't have a soul.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's always the crux of it.
Yeah.
We'd have to, do a soul transplant or something.
You can put a soul in a person without a soul, right? Does that work?
Yep.
And it'll just sort of become theirs?
Yes.
I was wondering about that with the death spell to deny the Reaper.
That's 100% what it is for.
Yeah, you bring someone back to life, they don't have a soul. If you make the spell indefinite, they're not going to die when it runs out. So you just steal a soul and give it back to them.
Yep. 100%.
Okay, Elvis, my favorite joke. What does the B stand for in Benoit B. Mandelbrot? Benoit B. Mandelbrot.
Mandelbrot all the way down. It's the 80s grizzle action movie version of Quantum Leap. Yep.
I really like the Doomsday Clock.
So we're not supposed to play on words, but autokill corrected. Oh, beets is in. No, I definitely got beets is in root vegetable. I'm with you. I got it. Oh man, these people. Craig, what are your thoughts as an acanthus about the members of the Autumn Court? Had to think of the Halloween-based question. They're all about fear and Changeling, the Lost. Have you even read much of Changeling?
I've skimmed a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm familiar with the mythology around the Autumn Court and the Summer Court. And we had some talks about that when I was thinking of
way back when you were starting, even, I think. Oh no, when you're doing Legacies, I think.
When I was doing Legacies, also working on the Mystery Cult and stuff like that. I don't. Where doesn't really have a particular opinion about the Autumn Court as a concept or as an organization. Fate has good sides and bad sides, and luck has good sides and bad sides, and it's all part of the same. They're just different poles on a continuum, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, and that's one thing. I'm a remind folks. Everybody is like Fate. They go together. I'll be honestly, Changeling is far more of a mind thing. And I mean, there is definitely some oaths and some contracts that you make and stuff like that. And that's very Fate, but Changeling is more than just Fate, guys. Elvis says, what is your favorite game mechanic in Chronicles of Darkness?
I love that you can roll 5 dice and get 10 successes.
Yes.
That's fun.
Exploding dice is pretty good.
I like the fact that you only need 1 success to succeed.
Oh yeah, especially with depending on generally speaking, yes, but especially with it's one of the things I like about second ed's spellcasting is I'm going to make pat on the back. My favorite example of mages doing crazy stuff. Walking up there, I have 2 dice. I'm going to make this guy's memory change forever. Bat, and he got the success, and it was like, and it worked, and that's all you needed. That was really cool. For me, one of my favorite mechanics is the aspiration system. By far, one of my favorite things in the game. I have to be a little bit better about it and double checking reading stuff. But once I get like, okay, this is the arc that they're going down, and they're heading into an Atlantean tomb or something like that. That is 100% like that's where my focus is, and I forget to check aspirations because I'm not doing the same kind of prep. But yeah, aspirations is one of my favorite things because players have kind of a say if you have a good storyteller. Sorry, my bad. It's on the storyteller to actually kind of follow up and actually make sure you're bringing in their aspirations. So that's really cool.
Yeah. I really like social rules.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Like,
yes. Doors are awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how long was I working on Mr. Hamilton?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that 100% you can, and like you can do exactly the way Craig did, and is like weird stops in and just every day, just a little progress, little progress. And it's something that as a storyteller, you could literally just go, let's not do this. We don't need to role play anything out. Give me 4 different roles to represent you doing 4 different things. That'll be the next 4 days. So instead of having to role play something that is like, this is a really minor thing. I just need, some uniforms to fall off a truck, but yeah. Go ahead, Craig.
Now I'm mildly trepidatious about doors on player versus player doors.
Mm-hmm. I did ask. They kind of shut it down, at least temporarily.
No,
right.
We talked about different options and stuff. So if it ever comes up,
but
and there's a way to still leave agency with the player,
right?
And that's the only thing that I have some concerns about is I don't like mechanics that take agency away from players.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's our game, and we can choose to ignore those if we want to.
Yep.
Yeah.
In OA, are all splat possible to be encountered, or are there splats you will not allow? Yes, they are all possible to encounter. Unlikely that they will see some of them because they are notably rare. Prometheans, demons, mummies. Once Mummy 2E comes out, who knows? Just saying. But the more common ones, vampires and werewolves and geists. For sure, because they are far more human centric. So those are going to be the ones that you see a lot of. Promethean, in my head, travels so much, so they may see and meet a Promethean and befriend them, and that Promethean is like, thanks guys, we're out, and they never see that Promethean again.
I really want to meet one though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Let's see here.
And Elvis, that is a great, I never even thought of that possibility, but like you're sitting in a room with the mayor with a seer to your left.
Oh yeah.
And you're both working doors on the mayor to get what that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, or even just over a course of a couple days. That said, seers can cheat, and I mean you've got
they break the rules.
Prime spell, zap, and like I'm gonna knock down a number of doors, and there's some other ways, and that mages can cheat, but that's kind of classic stuff. Drew, what are your thoughts on Beast? I have a bunch of them. I'm gonna get some water, and I'll tell you about them here in a second. I'll be right back. Actually, real quick, players, do we want to take a quick break, or are we just good for just going on?
I'm okay.
How much longer will we be answering questions?
Because I mean, we're at 8:00, so I mean, we can probably keep this going until 9. So if we want to take a quick little break, we'll just keep this all one episode, but just take a quick break.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure, get something to drink.
So yeah, we're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back, probably faster than normal. We'll be right back. I'm going to get something to drink, I think there or two, and
enjoy your dancing skulls.
Yeah, dancing skulls, and think of more questions for when we come back. Back in a second. As soon as I pull out the right thing. Dancing skulls. Go. And we're back. No snap or clap or anything, or as long as everybody kept everything.
Yeah, kept
going.
recording.
Okay, we're good. So we're back. So yes, because I believe it was Pink who asked about Beast. I really, really like Beast. I'm still unsure of where they will show up in the New York ecology, because a Beast in that kind of close packed area would probably be noticed, especially with mages actively being around and stuff like that. But maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they would be more subtle. So it's one of those things that I'm not 100% sure on. But after the big prologue kind of thing, we're into much more mage territory. So the other splats are kind of playing a much more supporting role. We're not going to see them be a focus.
We're still dancing skulls.
Not for me. I think that might just be them.
Okay.
Because I have the stream up in the background where I see us.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So like if they still see streaming skulls, it's just because they're still behind a little bit.
It was a really long delay.
Yeah, we do not have the short delay stuff set up currently. Let's see here. Oh yeah, have the Cabal thought of doing a dual arcane with themselves or with NPCs, even as a mock duel? I do believe Songbird has mentioned interest in that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't planned to throw any duels out there, but yeah, definitely thought about that.
Because yeah, he's into like
conflict,
becoming known for being like a good fighter and the good fighting mage. So that's
Yep.
And Weird just kind of sees that as, I don't know, like showing off.
Yeah. I mean, if it's necessary, it's necessary, but to do it without, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Just sort of seeing who is. I mean, I don't do combat spells super much.
Well, the dual arcane is actually an attribute plus skill, or it's not necessarily actual spells. So
I thought it was like you showing off your spells at each other, like I would do this and then you would do this.
Right. It is in narrative, but in mechanics it's like an attribute plus something else. I can't remember which. So it is much more of Madame Mim and Merlin in Sword in the Stone. That constant back and forth stuff. It's more of that. It's that imagination stuff. Malachi said, when you are playing and realizing people are going to be watching, do you make yourself rethink? Do you feel yourself rethinking or changing the way your character would talk? Yes.
I don't know about you. Like, but when I'm in the game, like, no, there's nobody else there, like in my head. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't think I do that. Yeah.
I mean, just. She is who she is.
Yeah.
And having people watching doesn't really change that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's more because I'm playing lots of people, and I'm playing people of color. I am playing people of ethnicities that I am not. I am playing genders that I am not.
Yeah, that's fair.
And some of that is Drew just kind of growing up and maturing and kind of learning other people and the walk in other people's shoes, but don't talk about what it's like to walk in their shoes kind of thing. So I have to behave, and I try to be a good friend to all.
We talked about this in the private Discord fairly early on. Like we were 2 sessions in, and we were talking about how into our characters we were, how strongly
you guys were like, I'm so ready for the next episode.
Yeah. So in our heads, the characters are really well formed. So there's not a lot of thinking about what characters would do in the moment and stuff.
Yes, the veil between characters and players is very, very thin with these
pretty
folks.
Thin here, yeah. For me, my biggest problem is that like I know what she sounds like in my head, and it's not my voice.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of have to roll with how like I sound, which
Well, that's 100%. Like you guys can't see. I play standing. This is not behind my desk. In my chair. That's the top of my chair. Yeah, I stand, and that allows me to emote and apparently cut out on Discord. But fortunately, you guys who are watching on YouTube, you never hear that. Or you watching on Twitch, you never have that problem. It's just the players. But it allows me to emote, and that helps so much in getting into my characters. I think Elvis or Zeus was the one who pointed out that you really emote with your characters. And I said, Oh, do I?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel, I can move, I can animate. I really noticed when I played Hephaestus, who had the bird-like twitchy motions. So that was really fun.
And I just want to add, like, for me personally, like, weird is nothing like me.
Okay. For you.
So yeah,
Right.
so in
For
my
me and
particular
Chris,
case,
we're,
like, yeah, it's not a case of the veil, but just the way I do characters, like they're almost like they're separate people inside my head. So
That's good stuff. Malachi said, "What is the status of the Concilium and the Seers?" That is not something I want exposed. That is correct. There are definitely Seers in New York, and they definitely have the upper hand. But that is about it. As I believe we had mentioned, Craig Weird very, very early on almost walked in. It's like, there's a Hallow there. Let me just walk in that building. And
oh, right. The one with the seer zone.
yeah, and it's and it was like, no, yes, there is a big Hallow. It's a big Hallow. It's a Hallow 5, and the Seers are sitting on that, guarding it and using it. And we know that, and we just don't go there. And Vex says dual arcana is Gnosis plus Arcanum. So yeah, you're rolling Gnosis plus Matter, and I'm going to do this to, re-change your wall into, a puddle, and,
You're going to melt the floor underneath your feet and then re-solidify it.
It's funny that you say that.
You're going to try to do that, Justin's too.
So what character traits do you feel are the most opposite or envious with yourself?
Oh, like in our characters, what is?
Mm-hmm. Something that is not you.
I am definitely not like the free spirit, just roll with the flow. I need to have a plan. I need to be organized. I need to, we're going to have 27 minutes of small talk, and then that's who I am personally, and Weird is not like that at all.
Yep.
What is not like me? That's a difficult question, honestly.
Is Atratus very much Ash?
Very similar.
Yeah.
I mean, my family isn't dead.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I don't actually know. Do you have any siblings? I can't remember.
I don't.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have I guess technically neither of you have siblings, but
I basically took my like pretty much the exact family dynamic that one of my friends has and just like cribbed it, because it's like she's got her brother. He's not like a twin, but then it's like her mom's an only child. Her dad is like completely estranged from his family. So I'm like, okay, so you have a very tight knit family of just like these four, and that's it. And now she's had 3 of them taken away, and
yikes, gotcha,
is all alone.
So one area where Weird and I are the same is like we both have a very strong egalitarian sort of philosophy. So that's something that's a part that I really identify with for Weird.
Pink says, if you could get any tabletop gamer you wanted to join as your group's fourth, like Matthew Dawkins, who would you choose? Matt Colville.
I don't know tabletop gamers.
Yeah.
I saw, because Matt normally does videos about like being a DM and stuff like that, and playing and running the game. That's literally his series. But I saw him play on, I can't remember which Wizards of the Coast thing, and he played a Grunk. He was playing a character, and he played exactly the way I feel all players should, who go, they look at their character sheet and say, I am supposed to be reckless, and this is clearly the story, so I'm going to willfully walk in there gung-ho.
Just doing something that I know is dumb, but that's what characters would do.
Right, yeah. And I was like, and at that moment I was like, I want to hug you, you big bearded, guy. Yeah, it's like that's because I mean, and it's the nature of players to go, that sounds dangerous. That sounds like a bad idea. And it's like, but that's where the adventure is. Go do dumb stuff. And fortunately, the Cabal is getting there. They're starting to be a little bit more risk-taking and stuff like that. I mean, Weird is the great risk-taker.
I was gonna say, let's go run into the underworld. It'll be fine.
Yeah, for me, the only tabletop folks I know are people that are like been on Critical Role. And even then, I don't know most of their names.
Right.
I really liked whoever played Kaliana. That guy. I don't know who he was.
Oh my gosh. I know who you're talking about. Bearded Brit.
Yeah. Like, I liked his whole
Oh yeah,
character.
he's terrific. Yeah. Elo, thank you for the subscribe on Twitch Prime. I greatly appreciate that. Go ahead, Craig.
So Kate Welsh from
yes.
Acquisitions
Oh my
Incorporated.
gosh, heck yes. Kate would be terrific.
And Taliesin Jaffe.
I love him so much.
Because he's always like, this is really a bad idea, but this is going to be such a great story.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
For that aspect of it, yeah.
Yeah, Taliesin really if we're going to pull the Critical Role guys in, much as I love Taliesin, and I think he would legit play Mage because that is Taliesin, but man, William, not Travis. Travis.
Travis Willingham?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I get there. It's like I'm talking about my coworkers' names here. Yes. Yeah, Travis Willingham, by far the best character, player, like actor in that whole group. That's my opinion, and I will stick to it. Fire Dragoon Malachi says, what kind of automated tools do you think would be the most helpful when playing Mage? A dice roller. 100%.
I love the spell template you made for us. That's
having some kind of organized thing. There's a website out there, Void something, come by Discord, which by the way, yeet into .space now will take you directly to our Discord.
Nice.
Yes, because we realize it doesn't really need to go to Twitch, because twitch.tv/the Onyx Path is pretty easy, and yeet into space is just a great one for the Discord.
So is it like a permanent Discord invite?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll take you, and you click that and it takes you straight to the welcome chat. But yes, some kind of dice roller product where I have these things and you can organize, because all those different steps, you can easily lose yourself, especially when you're new or doing complicated multi-step. I'm going to add duration and scale, and you start to move a lot of stuff, and you can lose track.
Go back and look at how we cast spells for the first however many episodes, where it's just like,
it was like, I'm going to cast a spell. Let's stop everything for 5 minutes.
For like 5 minutes while I count all of these dice.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like click, 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 bang. And it's a lot easier now.
Which, by the way, them clicks, man, that's fun to remove out of videos, let me tell you. You guys aren't bad, but Songbird, he's got some aggressive clicks.
Is so loud.
Yeah. And he's so angry at his keyboard.
We love you, Chris. Enjoy
his keyboard is just really loud.
It is, and it's right next to his mic. It's very similar to mine, but fortunately I don't type very much. But when I play video games, boy, everybody likes to comment on me typing.
I do really like the way this spell sheet works in Roll20. Like, for spellcasting, like, the little box where it's like, do you need 9 again or 8 again or a rote quality?
Yeah, the little macros.
Those character sheets are pretty good.
Yep.
It just doesn't work for spell casting, really.
Yep, right. Yeah.
So Vierneri had a great question about Consilium, Bronze Laws, Iron Laws, and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The Consilium, and we talked a little bit about that in game, but like we were just kind of mushed together as a collection of independent individuals. So we haven't really had talks about what we want to have for rules and
the Consilium.
Like Oh, the Consilium. Oh, sorry, the Consilium.
We
had to talk about that when Shodell came in.
Right,
we got like our short little checklist.
That was the short list of stuff. There are some others that have not come up. There's some bronze laws or iron laws. I can't remember which level about teleporting in New York because it is so packed. There are so many people. And so there's some different rules and stuff like that, which never had to come up. But yeah. There are some that have not shown up, but it's one of those things that they're more esoteric or weird things. Like if anybody makes it to master level, they're gonna have Shodell's gonna come by. By the way, some addenda here, some other things you need to know now that you're doing these things. But yeah, there are some, but not any real point in like, hi, you guys are newbie mages and new to the area. We're gonna give you the full list. Not necessary.
So it turns out you're not actually allowed to raise the dead.
Right. You totally
Just saying.
Yeah. Are there some popular movies, TV series in OA? Yes. All the stuff that is currently popular now is popular in the Chronicles of Darkness.
It is our world, but magic.
Yep.
How do you
mean about encountering the GM? Yeah.
The God Machine.
Malachi 2007. How do the players feel about encountering the GM with their characters?
The God Machine.
I don't know.
That's what the
GM is. The God Machine.
I know that it's
okay.
I know that it's a thing that lot of people have split opinions on.
Yep.
Yeah, don't really have an opinion on
Yeah,
that.
as players, and this is something I've kind of decided. Most people, even mages, are unaware of the God Machine as a whole. They may occasionally come across things, and they're like, these are weird mysteries that are not awakened. But knowledge of the God Machine is kind of very, very pulled back, and like demons and the angels and stuff like that are probably some of the rarest things in the OA World of Darkness, mostly because I'm not a huge fan of them, and they have a bunch of stuff that is very like screw with other splats, and notably are like fuck mages. So
That whole being able to lie through supernal truth,
which I mean, like that is super cool, because that's at least like a discussion thing. But they have like display of power where they can duplicate any supernatural ability
That they've seen or whatever, right?
And
that's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's any supernatural that they've seen or something.
I can't remember what limits are, but yeah, it's just like, ugh. Huber's piling up Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton would be fun to have as a player, but I just don't want him touching my dice.
Not even your digital dice.
He was on it.
Just break it for all of us.
Yes,
I thought it was just a myth until he guest starred on Critical Role, and man, just the abysmal, terrible crapitude that came out of his dice rolls. It was phenomenal.
The dice when other people used them,
and then they're destroyed forever.
Yep.
Cursed.
Yeah.
If you were to play a game set in the world of supernatural TV show, would you use the show's system to Hunter?
I don't know much about the supernatural show personally.
System? Would you use the show system to Hunter? Give us that one more time, Eladon, because we're having a disconnect.
I mean, I could see supernatural
as Hunter.
Being hunters.
Absolutely, yeah. If that's what you mean, yes, 100% I would use the Hunter system. And it's one of the reasons why I'm super excited about Hunter 2E, because I want to see what little rebalancing and stuff like that. And just because this is kind of related, yes, salt on everything. Yeah, that is supernatural in a nutshell. But no, for me, because the changes to Werewolf Mage and Vampire, all 2E versions, were such a step in the right direction for everything that I read. There's a reason I have not brought in anything that is 1E, because so many of them had such good overall fixes that I was just like, yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to wait for this to come out. And notably, I'm playing Mage. Geist just came out when we started. Werewolf and Vampire had already been out. I'm like, I'm pretty well set for the major splats. So I'm just waiting for everybody to get the 2E redo, and I'm going to hang out with that.
Yeah, apparently the show has a system, which I didn't know.
Scratch system. Interesting. I had no idea. But I believe that. I wouldn't be surprised. A TV show that long running, somebody's going to make an RPG out of it. People made an RPG out of Mistborn and Dresden Files, though that was based on Fate. And what was the other one that surprised the crap out of me? I was like, how does that have an RPG? I'll remember it eventually. It's on my wish list somewhere, I think. What does SPLAT stand for? I have no idea where it originated from, but it's literally just all the different side books.
I spent the longest time trying to figure out what people were talking about. I was like, what does splat mean?
Yeah. Sorry. Let me use terms that Ash would. It's a different codex.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I did the same thing. People kept talking about splats, and I was like, I don't know.
Splat.
Yep. Let's see here. Standalone system for Firefly. Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
That could be fun. It would be like a rogue trader thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
And they must see it, and it must not be an extended action. I rule that they copied the base form of spells, so with 0 spell factors. Yeah, I mean, they're just copying the thing. Yeah, I mean, and for me, it's just, I like Chronicles of Darkness because it is about people who have had stuff change, or they were born different, or something like that. Demons show up just like,
they're just always supernatural beings, yeah.
They've always been. Prometheans at least want to be human, and they're trying to be human. So that has the flip side that I think is very, very interesting. But demons show up and they're just like, we have these crazy superpowers. Haha. And I'm going, eh. That's one of the reasons why I'm curious about Mummy 2E. Are there Proximi lines in Occultists Anonymous? Of course there are. None that are specifically canon or that I've created. But yeah, Proximi are definitely around. Basically, people who are born into magic, kind of like sorcerers. They have certain requirements and stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely Proximi. I mean, technically, the Hive Souled are Proximi, technically. They just don't have any magic of their own.
Yeah, I saw someone talking about like in their game where they had the person whose mentor was her mom because they were both awakened. I was like, can magic run in families then?
It's not necessary. Like when it actually runs in families, that's actually when you have Proximi. But being an awakened doesn't necessarily. But there's also nothing that says they can't. And especially if you take like, I have awakened. I have had a kid. I can encourage certain curious behaviors, and like you got to be very, very careful how you're handling it.
Ruin it for them,
right? But yeah, you could definitely do that. How do I feel about Astras? I gotta remember, I was just looking at Astras. Where are Astras again? Sorayas, Astras. Is that the places where True Hand of Glory. Yeah. This is the like super artifacts or something like that. Panoplies of the Gods. Yeah. They're basically artifacts they are artifacts, but they have no merit or dot value, thus they cannot be purchased. It contains at least 2 spells that are activated, as it would be a lesser artifact, and may contain more. At least one of them is a 4-dot or greater spell. Yeah, they're just super artifacts. And they have one particular action that it executes perfectly every time. So yeah, they have like the True Hand of Glory. It unfailingly causes any being who sees its lit fingers or smells the acrid smoke drifting from them to fall into an unnatural trance. Yeah, Astros are cool. Similar to Ideaforms. They're rare, interesting things. Are we okay bringing up recent episodes? But yes,
characters. Yeah, I mean, it's Twitch. This is generally supposed to be.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Well, there are some people who, may not have caught up. So I'm just going to let folks know with about 40 minutes left in the stream, we're gonna pull the warning sign up. Beware, here there may be spoilers. So if anybody has more recent stuff, feel free to bring that up in chat. Everybody watch out, careful what you're reading. Try to be a little vague if possible, but yeah, feel free, fire away with some of them spoilers, folks, and ask them questions
about our very cool new shaman friend
Alejandro.
I love him.
Have you thought about how the Aeons look in the OA's universe? Very much the way they appear in the book. They are, places where things are weird and the supernal is kind of really taken over, or just on the other side, rather. I think. Oh, I was thinking of AIDS. Yes, the those are the places where the gods have been, where supernal have been. Yeah. Well, apparently, one of the 1E books has a familial mage line that was dying out. Oh wait. Aeons are the like supernal gods who are like paired up and have represent different arcana and stuff like that. Again, very much like what they appear in the book. If there's stuff that is in the book that is canon, even though Chronicles of Darkness is kind of loose on the idea of canon, I tend to pull stuff like that. So yeah.
Plans to interact with spirits. We did bring Logan with us for a reason.
Yeah, I heard the mention of shamans. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, episode 52 and 53 had a shaman.
Well, a fallen, or not?
Correct, not a Thyrsus.
Yeah, not a Thyrsus.
Like an actual real world shaman.
Yeah,
yep.
sleeper magic.
Excuse me, a Quero Incan shaman, or technically just Quero shaman, Quero shaman. And yes, that website I mentioned is real.
Go learn to be a shaman.
Yep, which I thought was very, very cool. But yeah, and that is one of those like cringe. I just want to do this properly, and like all due respect to other beliefs and stuff like that. I was like, he's here. He's going to do these things. What that actual ritual looks like, I don't know. Yeah,
you're not a shaman.
Yeah, do not spoil them. They're good. Spoil what? Are you talking about the Aeons? Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Aeons. The players have access to signs and sorceries. If they want to read, they can.
I mean, I own it. I just I've skimmed it. I read the bits I was interested in, and
yeah, Elodon says, I really liked the shaman from the most recent episode, and the point where Mr. Wool, Mr. Wolf, went, let's speak of spirits. I could see the event in my head in the style of Castle in the Sky. Yeah, I mean, Jake, why do I keep doing that? Logan was very, very happy to find a shaman, because then he was like, good, because I can't talk to these mages about this. But if we
don't know anything.
Yeah, if there's some stuff going on, let me find some local guy, because they will be useful. More of a thing. Logan was looking for somebody who might know local werewolves and find a shaman who might have that kind of connection. And Alejandro is like, werewolves? What the fuck? He was not prepped for that.
Did he know what Logan was when he started like half transforming in front of him?
Yes, yeah. At that point,
okay.
He put two. I mean, because he's still a modern. He's a Quero shaman, but he's been to the movies, and he's going, oh, okay, that's a thing.
Oh, werewolves exist. That's cool.
Right, yeah. Are there plans to incorporate Archmage plans into the plot? There are no plans.
Well, you don't have any plans, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I mean, technically, try using some of that fate magic. Oh, wait. Normal mage stuff doesn't affect Archmages, so you couldn't even use a fate spell to do it now that I think about it. But yes, 100%. Archmages are a thing. I'm not a huge fan of having such out-leveled power interact with players. It's the same thing if I were to play D&D. I'm not having the gods come down and interact and chat with the players. The cast commune spell, sure, that'll work. The gods actually showing up and doing something directly, probably maybe dreams, kind of stuff.
Does communing with your god or invoking your gods in D&D work on a percent system, right?
There's a high level cleric ability where as a cleric you can roll and ask for a thing, and if you roll below I think it's 10%. Oh yes, below your level. Yeah. So it'll work.
It's very unlikely it'll happen.
Until you're level 20, in which case it's guaranteed to happen once every
5 tries. Well, not guaranteed.
No, it's actually
yeah.
It's guaranteed. But yeah, that said, but then you have the commune spell, which is like you can get messages and stuff like that. What is the Arcana / Gnosis limit into the in OA? There is none. Well, excuse me, Arcana limit is at 5. We're not doing Archmage games. Not that stuff gets really weird and really esoteric. And if one person becomes an Archmage and the other two don't,
then what's the rest of us doing?
It's going to be a weird show. I'm not interested in that. So very similar to I'm not putting a Geist in the game. I'm not putting a werewolf in the game. They're going to be.
But if the Cabal isn't coming together, I could see us doing that as a group.
What do you mean?
That might be interesting.
Just we all collectively becoming Archmages.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that would be where we would go. But even then,
that would be like end game.
Yeah,
because at that point you can't do a whole lot, can you?
You can, but the stuff that you're doing is like global, world-spanning, and it's very plans and manipulation, and it becomes a very different game. So yeah, what tiers?
I'm not interested in this.
Yeah, what tiers do you expect OA to get into? Basically, local, city, global. Well, we're kind of global. We're in Peru, guys.
Going hopping all around the world.
Yep. Have you thought of something like a Wending appearing? Yes, I have. The leftovers of an Archmage. Very, very interesting stuff. Definitely thought about it. Whether it happens, I mean, it's not a focus for the game, so. Ooh, if you could awaken, but your families all stayed sleepers, would you? Yes.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's...
Because, I mean, canonically in the system, like, mages do that all the time, right? They make it work.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. They lie or just don't tell the full truth, or, because, I mean, at the end of the day, they can't know. So, I mean, and we have Oceans Under Mountains, who, is married to a woman who is a sleeper, and
they have like a nice little life out there, and then she comes to work, and work happens to be magic shit.
Yep. Yeah. And so she has a very controlled way of, like, she has a intense separation between those universes for her. And if you were to ask her, she's like, yeah, I am trying to get her to awaken. I am talking about things and pointing out weird curiosities in her world, but it's not something you can force. And not without the risk of really messing somebody
breaking them.
Yep.
Any splat, what would you be?
Oh yeah.
I'm perfectly happy with it. I really enjoy Mage.
Mm-hmm. Well,
That's
what
a lot of
about
fun.
Craig?
No, like in real life, what would you want to be?
Yeah, I don't know.
I like the werewolves.
Werewolves are pretty good.
I really like the family community thing they've got going on. With you have your
pack.
Your pack.
Mm-hmm. And
especially people who are actually werewolves, the wolf-blooded, everyone, you're like, it's
on
very large, very communal.
Yep. Yeah. Werewolf, probably for the same reason. I like the idea of being a shepherd of spirits and man. I'm a big fan of the liminal I am of two worlds kind of thing. That's really cool. Though a lot of the splats do that because, vampire, you have the living and the dead. Mage, you have the sleepers and awakened. But
I'm also very into the shape-shifting is cool.
Yep.
So you want to turn into a giant wolf? Awesome.
Yep. You could ghost your family. Oh, come on! Like, if you awaken and you ghost your family, you're rolling some active hubris at character creation, son. Fortunately, everybody else has had a reason. Though I guess we haven't really touched on Songbird's family, who, as far as we know, are still alive,
fine and happy and living in Norway. Yeah.
Yep. Being a professor, I believe, Dad is.
Yeah, his dad teaches birds.
Mm-hmm.
He's an ornithologist.
Right. Should I be worried that the shepherd is a wolf? No, because the shepherd is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's okay. It's not an actual wolf. The wolf spirits are probably concerning. But yeah. What else we got, guys? As we round down the clock to the last half hour. Also, thank you guys for hanging out. Let me throw a couple little things out there. So yes, thank you guys for hanging out. This is really cool. I was worried this was going to go very, very fast, but you guys have been hanging out, and that's been really cool. But a quick reminder: Deviant is almost done. They've still got some stretch goals left. Go check that out. It's on Kickstarter. I think it's $25, and you get all the preview stuff, which is basically you have the whole game. It's just in Word doc form. And then you'll actually get the actual PDF when it's done, as well as the bonus PDF that comes out, the extra stuff about clades and different organizations. So that's going on. And I think Handiworks Games, the little Scarred Lands Creature Compendium is almost done too. So do check those out, guys, because that's, Onyx Path's cool new stuff and is useful if you play D&D or Chronicles of Darkness. So yeah. Have you considered using Shunned by the Moon material? Yes. I really wish it had come out before we fought Marrow Eater, so I would have had more stuff. But yeah. Also, do you see this question from Eladon?
Thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eladon asks, Venom or Hulk?
Venom.
Really? Actually, though, now that I think about it. Hulk recently got all venomized, and I don't think I have that one here.
You have a book with the Venom Hulk on it?
Yeah, he again, not the other one. That said, you want to see the greatest image in all of Marvel Comics? Go look. We am Smash for Vengeance. It is literally the best thing that the MCU will never do. It is the Red Hulk imbued by Ghost Rider wearing the Venom suit, riding a tricycle of hell through
That
hell.
is so stupid.
It is the
my
best
God.
thing ever.
That's.
Yep.
Oh, they're asking about a map. Oh, the map behind you. What is it?
Welcome to the wonderful city of Waterdeep. Yep. Eddie or Banner? Eddie, what is wrong with you people? Puny Banner. But yeah, I got that with to shill a little bit. It's from Waterdeep, the Dragon Heist game.
Mhm.
Highly suggested for anybody who likes D&D. You don't even need to run the adventure. It's got some great stuff for dealing with factions and running a tavern and a lot of like home building kind of stuff. It's really cool.
I bought the dice because they were cool and came with a hit point counter, which is real.
Yes, that was really cool. Favorite flavor of ice cream for the characters and players? Come on. Like, you guys keep leaving me out. Like, or I guess I could start listing all the fun. Okay, so Moraine's, Dalton's favorite flavor.
Yeah.
No. But no, for me, it is straight up some strawberry cheesecake from Ben and Jerry's.
Fish food is like, yeah.
I wish it was at my local HEB because it's the one with Swedish
Really?
fish, right?
No, it's little chocolate fish.
Oh, never mind.
It's the chocolate ice cream with caramel and marshmallow in it and little veggie fish.
Too much
It's real
chocolate.
good.
I'm out. What about Craig?
I like chocolate ice cream that has stuff in it, not chocolate chips.
Anything, just so
So
long
like
as
Rocky Road, Tin Roof Sundae, I like that kind of stuff.
Cool. Will we have a beach episode? I mean,
Sure.
Yeah, I can just see it. Where it turns into a giant freckle.
Right? One single.
Atratus is blinding people all over the beach with her pale skin. And Songbird to be out there just roasting away in a bikini, having a great time playing beach volleyball or something.
We'll have the slow mo of him and.
Oh yeah, like from the yeah.
Yeah, him and Logan playing beach volleyball. Done. There you go. Go home, kids. And yeah. Also, fan art. If you're interested, that's the one to start with. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't care which Songbird you do, but Songbird versus Logan beach volleyball. Thank you. Batman that laughs. That's DC. I skip. That was a joke.
Asking
Says
about all
Vex.
these
That's
comic
fine.
characters, I don't care.
Yeah,
Like, Venom or Hulk, I like the X-Men. Like,
yeah. Amanda's the same way. She loves her some X-Men. She's super excited about the new update stuff that they changed stuff. But have you considered artifacts that the characters would love to have? I have. I've definitely invented some stuff that should they ever prove to be of service to a supernal being, that an artifact might be passed to them as way of payment. Personally, I don't know why they were not diving on top of that goblet artifact.
because it's super evil. Like, for me, I want to, like, just as a character goal, I really do want to go recover, like, lost artifacts. But I want something that's not used to steal souls. I want something that might be handy.
I mean, immortality. I'm just saying.
No, not my thing.
Yeah, artifacts are definitely something that I've thought about giving to or lacing throughout.
Having us possibly coming across.
Yep. How evil? What, like try to find
It was so evil.
No, yeah, it's
Like just the bullet points.
yeah, we didn't get what it really does, but we were able to infer that it will like completely mind wipe a body and then take a soul and put it in the new body.
Yep.
So you basically erase a person and then just sort of migrate
Overwrite
yourself
yourself into them.
to
Yeah.
that one.
To quote, it's just free real estate.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is not a great thing, and
Yeah.
Mashta. Again, we're in spoiler territory. Yeah, that was Mashta's. That was thing. Her
That
thing.
is why she was not the like ancient person who stole it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing that might be interesting to happen down the road if we ever get there is I'd like to see Gilly Doo It's a
meet your fate
character
again.
from Weird's backstory, but it'd be interesting to interact with the rest of the Cabal. That would be a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Weird would be like freak the hell out about it, but Craig would love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting to meet a fae.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to find a hedge for that. Is that how hollow ones are made? No, I actually like the canon thing for hollow ones, the bound that stings people. On a scale of 1 to F, how concerned should we be for Jimmy Smalls Patinko? Oh.
I mean, in character, we're pretty concerned.
Well,
So
Weird's worked out some issues there, so she's agreed to let it happen. But I think as players, we were like, if that guy goes nasty goes, he's going to wreck civilization.
Yeah.
Chris has assured us that it's like, no, Jimmy's like not a good person, but like he's not that bad.
Yeah.
The only thing that stops him is, I think, the threat of arrest and physical punishment.
Yeah, and 100%. Like when he introduced me to Jimmy and the concept of Jimmy, I had an idea, and I think Chris had a different one, but I think we ended up coming to, like, we haven't even discussed it, but his reaction and comments about stuff matched up with what I thought Jimmy was going to be. So yeah, very, very interested. Yeah, Jimmy is a guy who needs some guidance and has some major social issues, but he is not a bad guy.
Yeah.
So
good.
Eldon edited the question now to say, should we be concerned for Jimmy? And fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's somebody looking to mess around
hunting
with
him.
his, yeah,
Let's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a huge issue.
Yep.
It's like, I don't like you as a person, but this isn't great, and Songbird does, so let's try to fix that.
Yeah. Malachi, who do you find is the leader in terms of character-driven qualities? I mean, it's Songbird in the fact that he's the one who takes the lead.
Face.
He's the face and he's the lead, but Songbird definitely kind of comes back to the group very often. It's just a matter of, because he has forces and prime, it puts him in a position where he's the one who often goes and does stuff. When you have fate, which is very indirect stuff, and previously mostly death and a little bit of matter, like the other folks, and when Mammon was still around, mind, you have a lot of like background subtle arcana where Songbird is a loud, boisterous fighter with forces and prime. He's motivated to be the forward line. So, Puppeteer, I still think exposure to how his actions affect people could open his eyes to what he's doing. And Craig says in chat, maybe.
Yeah.
Excuse me, asterisk. Those are not quotes.
Yeah.
That is certainly one possible scenario.
Yep. Yeah, or the Watchtower itself, like, says Vex.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like his werewolf stalking, at least, was highly tied into the awakening itself coming. It's like, that is in your head and you can't let it go.
Yep. And
it's like, not inherently a stalker, but this has lined up to the point where he's doing it.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is kind of spoiler stuff, and since we already know where Jimmy is now, I don't mind telling you background stuff, but it started with Jimmy being protective of Songbird and just like, who are these weird people who have suddenly shown up in his life, and checking them out. And, you know, Songbird says, hey, buzz off. These people are friends. Don't worry about it. And so he's like, okay, I won't worry about these people. Oh, who's this rescue one? And this starts this chain of events.
Yeah, I mean, looking into us makes sense, honestly. It's just like two complete strangers just showed up and moved into your house.
Yeah.
Sure, but he took he did a cannonball off the high board from protecting Songbird into being a creep.
Well, and bear in mind, and
not
this,
great socially,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
and that's the thing, and like he is not. I don't want to say socially awkward. He's not socially awkward. He is uncouth, and barely housebroken, calling weird toots. But I mean, you look and you go to parties, and there's people who are happy to be around him and hang out with him. And, he knows people and he gets along with people when he makes that effort. But his default, he has what's the like social equivalent of bitchy resting face? Like, unless he makes the effort, he's a bit of a jerk.
And I have a curse all lined up for him the next time he does something like that. He's going to have like a blinding headache until he's nice to 3 people.
Right. Wonder how wide a net the Stalker cast. That is a good question. Malachi says,
like for other possible
who might awaken.
Yeah.
Will there be any mages that have awakened in one of the unique ways it's introduced in the SOS? Yes, you have actually already met one. Mammon actually canonically has a weird awakening. Besides all the stuff that we saw in the stuff, John didn't even know this. Besides all the stuff that we saw in his awakening and people messing with his memories and stuff like that, there's more to it. There's a reason Mammon was picked out by the Panopticon.
And I don't think we covered it in the game, but like Weird's awakening was definitely non-standard.
Mm-hmm.
Like it went on for a really long time, and yep.
What mysteries did the players love uncovering, solving with their characters, like the stuff we've gone over so far?
We're still going through it, but I'm super
really
into what's going on with these grimoires.
Yes, this arc may have been very, very carefully crafted to affect all 3 players.
It is scratching every itch I've got. I'm really enjoying it.
See what happens when you put them together. But then I also kind of don't, because it seems bad.
Yep.
And like I was
Mage.
interested in it, right? I was interested as we were going to Philly, but when I figured out that all of them were connected, like that's like, oh, this is a whole. It's like you're standing on an infinity and you see all these other infinities all of a sudden. It's that sort of reaction. Like this is way deeper than we thought. That was really good.
Yeah, and that's another thing, because you guys don't have the old notes from 60 years ago about the other grimoire and what they studied. Because at this point, Red Dread is basically the only person around still in the Arrows when that thing went missing. So, whatever, like people had concerns about it. It's gone missing, but it was still missing. So, let's see here. Oh, Puppeteer says, he could easily go heavily the other way. Just saying, who he is isn't set in stone. He could have a major awakening coming his way. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Malachi, what NPCs have your characters interacted with that they would like to see again or become a recurring character? I know we mentioned Rebecca, but anybody else?
I really want to meet the rest of the Sin Eaters, because so far, when it comes to like ones we've really interacted with, it's Rebecca and Sean. And it's like, I know there are others, we've like mentioned them, but we haven't met them.
Yeah, handful, and that crew is growing. Crew KREWE. The Geist crew is growing. That is Rebecca's thing right now. And she's got a background. She actually had another crew, and she's no longer there, and she's with this group, and they're recruiting and finding, and so that'd be cool. Exarcheal Awakening. He's going to be a prelate. No, I would not do that for players. Not for Jimmy, at least.
Yeah. It would be cool for Word to just like hang out with other Acanthus. That would be something I'd be looking forward to.
But you should be Onyx.
Put those aspirations in and go meet them. Make those scenes, because legitimately, that's one of the reasons Songbird is ahead in XP. He's like, I'm going to go do this thing. I'm going to set a scene there. Feel free, like 100%. I like that.
And I do like the idea of Weird meeting her, because it's very opposite, because her whole deal is like bad luck. Yeah,
she will,
luck and curses.
Yep. And she will pass out, like she will pass out good luck where she sees it, but she's very much a retributive. She fixes things. When she sees conflict, she's gonna fix it. She's gonna balance them scales. Malachi says, all right, before I head off to host my game, what plot hook should I start with? Man, nothing beats you meet in a tavern. Like you are thrown together and you have to learn each other, you have to meet each other, which is great for players getting to know their characters. Like these guys did not have access to one another's like character sheets. Do you still not have access? I can't remember.
I think we can see them if we click on the names.
Right. I just can't remember if you can see all the actual like stats and stuff like that.
I think so.
But that is one of those things. Like I am a big proponent of, like, I hate the whole idea. All right, guys. Well, I have 8 persuasion. Well, I have 9 persuasion, so I'm going to take the lead on this. it's much more interesting to learn and see that stuff as people interact, especially when you have stuff like this where like we're going to walk in and we actually have a bunch of people we had 4 people. I can't remember how high Atrantis' social stuff is, but they all went kind of high on the social skills side. And so they're all talky people. So stuff has kind of, faded away. Mammon, for instance, was not great at persuading people. He's more manipulative. So it made,
he had like really high empathy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he reads people really, really well. He understands what they want. And that combined with mind magic makes him very, very scary.
Horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you thought about using one of the regulars in Discord as a canvas for a NPC? Yes. I have thought about doing that multiple times, or stealing somebody's Discord name as a shadow name, and I've thrown that idea away. Mostly because much as I want to reward people hanging out, I don't want it to be this, go and chat and talk a lot and you'll show up in the show, because that feels weird and a little bit forced, and not something I'm looking forward to. Because at the end of the day, this show is about us and us playing and everybody getting to watch and hang out. Thanks for hanging out, Malachi. Bye-bye. Fire Dragoon. But yeah, this is about us running. And it's one of the things I said way back before we were recording. I told them I'm interested in recording this, but the focus will be on us playing. And if there's show stuff, that'll be bonus. That's why Patreon money goes to them being paid, and I do all the work. And I'm 100% okay with that. They do recording, and then they send it off to me, and I put it together, and I have fun doing that. But I don't ever want this to be hey, this is a job. You guys need to do some work. You need to do your share. I need you to be posted on Reddit. None of that. I just want them to be players, and I want to just be a storyteller. And then my side hobby is the fact that I edit and put stuff on YouTube. So yeah. Silicon Path says, don't forget to check out the free Onyx Path dice roller that's on your phone. It's actually kind of slick, and actually one of the bonuses from backing stuff is actually you get special die. Actually, let me see here, because I think I have that for Changeling.
You have fancy die.
I have fancy die. Let's see here. I can't remember where this thing is at. Is it Wad dices? No. What is it? Onyx dice? Let's just type dice. Let's see what I get. I've got like 3 different dice rollers, and I can't spell dice either. DICE. Oh yeah, Onyx dice. We'll see how well this shows up on camera here after it loads. In the meantime, just got curious. Yeah, no, I do appreciate the question, Vex. It is definitely something I have really thought about. But yeah. Wasn't something that I thought would be appropriate.
Yeah, it's definitely not a hard yes or a hard no. Like, there's things to consider. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I have the dice thing. I just can't remember how to change my dice. I have those. Store. Yeah, there we go.
Have any of the PCs thought of having a hobby?
Acting.
I mean, that's what Songbird and I are doing with the makerspace we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I know that I was just like, I don't really need a forge. I can just make a thing.
This does not show up very well. Yeah,
they're very green.
Yeah, but there's a changeling dice. But yeah, it's cool, and you can shake and roll them.
They roll. Oh, that's
neat.
I quite like that. But yeah, I mean, they definitely have some hobbies. I mean, let's be honest. Songbird forging is very much a hobby that is becoming.
It's a magic aspiration, but it's also just like a thing he wants to do.
Yep. I mean,
for me, I was wanting to take it up because like I can make things just happen, but there's no real artistry in it.
Mm-hmm.
No sense of satisfaction, just like touching a thing and making it be a thing.
I mean, that's your thing, man. Like Colossus, if it weren't for the fact that he gets yantras and oblations from forging and working stuff as being a power forger, forge master. Yeah. And so he gets like, he spends like he's topped on mana just because he goes in and he works and he does these things and then turns around and like very rarely does he actually like the gauntlet and like the spear, those are big things that are long-term projects for him. But like his actual work, he goes over it, slap, whamp, here's this thing. So,
for me, it's more that like I've kind of mentioned it in the past. We were like making our runes.
mm-hmm.
It's just like had taken art
The
classes.
tattoo. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I sat in my room and just touched a thing and made a nice little clockwork bird. It's like, that's cool, but I don't feel like I did anything. So let's do
something more.
Yeah, let's work on like maybe not forging, but just like physically crafting
jewelry kind of.
Yeah.
Goldsmithing. Yes, and Kat, thank you. Yes, you do find it in the store. Like that made sense once I noticed it. But yeah, I have the Changeling dice, and I think I have the Geist dice from backing on Kickstarter. So it's a fun little perks.
What else did you mean by hobbies then? Because I mean those are things that line up with like our mage aspirations, but it's also just like, what do you enjoy doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like crafting.
Yeah, and for me, well, Vex clarifies, but yeah, for me, I mean, there's totally lives that these people have, on the downtime and where they relax and do things that, they watch Netflix on their phone and they occasionally eat and go to the bathroom. Stuff like that we don't necessarily show on screen because it's not particularly interesting until something interesting as part of it happens. But until then, it happens in the background, like how often, just to steal comics, how often do you watch them have breakfast? Meh. Unless there's some super important conversation about you took the grimoire and ran off with it. All of a sudden, this is now an interesting breakfast to have other than, wow, yeah, the Cubs last night, right? Yeah.
But I mean, I honestly, those are my favorite comics though. Like, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, which is entirely just like your downtime when you're not being a superhero.
Yeah. Yeah. But those, they have some context. They go, yeah. Mundane pastimes. Well, yeah, I mean, same thing. Yeah.
But yeah. Atreides was a like archaeology student and art nerd.
Yeah.
She still has like a bunch of her art supplies. That's what I went and pulled out like charcoals and started drawing my runes.
Yep.
Like,
what would Weird do as a hobby?
She didn't really have one. She didn't have much of a life.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, now
before her awakening,
downtime.
Now it's like whatever catches your fancy in a moment.
I'll try that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, the simple crafting rules in Chronicles of Darkness, well, especially with, I mean, you have extended actions and you roll for traditionally crafting, and then as a matter mage you go and then roll wits plus craft. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the puppeteer, suddenly there's a werewolf in Atreides' closet. Atreides may be okay with that.
Yeah.
Just saying. Depends. Is it Alicia and Logan or Logan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, thank goodness, none of them have pursued a romance arc. I mentioned it earlier. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. It's going to be weird. I can't handle it because I will not be able to keep a straight face.
If anyone decides to go that way, it's all going to be off screen. Because no one wants to roleplay this out.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes.
No, we're not going to do this.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, no, I couldn't handle that. Like,
I mean, that's why I wasn't actually like dating Shauna. It's like,
right. It's like we did, but
in the past this happened. Not anymore. It's fine.
Yep. And again, that's one of those things. Like, I don't mind that as downtime. Like, yeah, I'm totally dating Shauna when she's in town. Okay, and it doesn't need to be a thing. Oh yes, you don't have to have a full-on merit tree like an Exalted. I have heard Exalted has some fun stuff. When the closet break though, Logan and Alicia
maybe it's
in
a
there.
big closet.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, Songbird's house is.
Though actually,
the floor plan. See how big the closets are.
All the jokes that we're making about closet, but isn't today National Out of the Closet Day? So
it is.
I think Atreides' response would be the same if it was like, oh, there's a vampire in your closet. Like, ooh, cool.
Neat.
Yeah.
A little less so, but also just like Are you cool, vampire?
Yeah.
Yep. Which I was so sad you ran those guys off. It's just such a
I'm
shame.
sad. You finally gave me one to talk to, and we scared him away.
Yep. Would be 2 if there wasn't a stream delay. It was meant to come around the middle. Oh yeah, mundane daily tasks being roleplayed. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of that mundane stuff that I think would be interesting, but we have 3 people, and especially when you have 3 people and they're each doing their own thing, the smaller, more mundane stuff is the stuff that gets cut. So we're going to go do this event and that event and stuff like that.
Because we have big magic things we want to do.
Right.
So I know for me, I should be more like vocal about like these things that are happening in my head. It's just like, I know what I'm doing in my downtime.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
told y'all.
There are beats that will fly, and especially since somebody did remind me that, oh yeah, storytellers should totally give away beats for good role play. Absolutely. I got to remember that. I'm from the D&D camp of you get XP when you complete quests and you kill monsters. So yeah. That reminded me of something. Oh yeah, that is something that I need to be better about, is giving out beats for cool stuff, and not feel bad about doing it, because we already have one person a little bit ahead of the others. So if I give out beats because I thought something was cool, it's not going to hurt anything. Oh, I was going to say, how much more time do we have? None.
Yeah, 1
We're
minute.
done.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're done, guys. Bye. No. Thank you guys for hanging out again. We greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna look here. Users in chat. That's a lot of users. Okay, real quick, for those of you who are hanging out in chat and haven't said anything, hi.
Hi.
I'm not going to ask you to hop into chat and say hi. Just going to let you know we see you. We appreciate you guys. If you want to come by and join our Discord, that's yeetinto.space. It is a-okay to come in and lurk. We will say hi when you join in, but we're not going to bug you. And one of the things I highly suggest, and I've thought about creating a language for it, is add reactions to chat and comments. Like, it's okay if you don't want to be in and take part in a conversation, but you see something that's funny or you can't wait to see it, add some reactions. It's a good way to get your voice out there, and nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to call you out for a reaction. And it's a good thing. And you will see my little popcorn bag show up every now and then when people talk about, oh, this thing or that thing. Oh, no, what's going to happen? And it's just me eating my popcorn. It's like, yeah, what will happen? So, yeah, that's pretty great. So yes, it has already been 3 hours. Thank you guys for hanging out, even with our tiny little break there, which was actually a fairly short break. So quick reminder, check out Deviant, check out Scarred Lands, Creature Compendium. Those things are super cool. And, any kind of activity that, Onyx Path has is cool in my book. I like the fact that there are more than just one game out there. As we mentioned, midway through, there are a bunch of RPG systems that are super cool. I'm a big fan of the more people are playing more RPGs other than just everybody playing one popular one, it's better. Especially when I see people who are like, I'm using D&D, but I'm using it in this setting, and I'm going, why are you using D&D for that setting?
Yeah, it's like there are other games that let you do what you want to do instead of trying to reshape D&D to make it fit the story you're trying to tell.
Yeah, somebody was like, I'm doing a cyberpunk D&D game. I'm like, there's like literally one called Cyberpunk, and then there's also
who don't like
Shadowrun.
Gameplay mechanics of D&D, but are just like,
I'm changing these rules.
It's like, there are other games you could do.
So, yeah. But not that we're going to get on that soapbox.
Yeah.
But yes.
I love D&D, but also other things.
There's others. Yeah. Shadowrun. So thank you guys for hanging out. Come by the Discord. If you like the stuff that we're doing, come by patreon.com/occultists or staylucky.club. The.staylucky.club.
You don't need that. They said it works without.
It does, but it's more fun to say the staylucky.club. But yes, and that is our Patreon. That is where Songbird's answers will show up, unless he decides that he is going to record video, in which case it may end up on YouTube. But yeah, he's thought about recording it sideways, and I might give him the overlay, so he'll just be in his own little window by himself. But yeah, so there's that. Yeah, chunky salsa rules, by the way, not in the new Shadowrun. Sad day. Come by Patreon. That's where like our other odd stuff shows up. We haven't done a little bit of that in a while, mostly just because we've been deep into the game, which is fine by me. Technically, if you want, you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/occultista. That's where basically it's just me and occasionally me yelling at Chris for being out. And just basically it's a handy little announcement thing for when our videos go live. And if you're against being on Discord, you can ping me on Twitter and I will answer questions when I can and stuff like that. But Discord is definitely the way to go.
I don't have a Twitter.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best place.
I missed the boat when that started, and at this point, I'm just like,
yeah. Otherwise, I'm about tapped. What is the stream's uptime? Yeah. Hi, Boopy Doopy 202. We've been up for 3 hours. We're about headed out. But otherwise, any other announcements? Anything else? I think that's it.
You're doing something Sunday or Saturday?
Oh yes, yeah.
Deviant.
Yeah, Deviant. I am playing Alpha, who did not get a lot of awesome action time. But yeah, I will be straight with you guys. I picked Alpha because I thought that the players in my game would appreciate. Notably, because she's a badass 17-year-old like eugenics messiah who has turned on her white nationalist creators and wants to kill them all. And I was like,
I'm on board.
Wait, what is this? I have a wolf that is a mutant named Beta who gives healing kisses? 2 hands up, yes!
Yes.
I'm on board! And I can summon the spectral entities of the siblings that I killed. Hey,
Cool.
that's fine. Necromancy, I'm in. Like, it was so me, and nobody else wanted to play her. I was like, I'm in, and yes. So, yes, we will, we're attacking a cocktail party. We're infiltrating a cocktail party, and then we will attack a symposium. I was disconnecting a lot, so I didn't quite get the full plan. So hopefully they'll remind me on Sunday. But yeah, we're attacking our progenitors and the people who want to make more of us and stuff like that. Yes, so the Wolfenstein protagonist, 100%. It's oh yes, hey, yeah, there we go, Deviant. It is a lot of fun. We've got myself playing Alpha. Travis Legg is playing Alicia, I believe. I can't remember everybody's names. She's Alex Mack from the Nickelodeon TV show. If you guys remember that, she's
turns into puddles.
Yeah, she is a goo person. And then she can occasionally, for a short time, take on a human form, but it's only the form of the person she saw last. And has pseudopod attacks. And then we have we had Jeremy from Scion, and he is playing, I think it's Frankie is the character's name, who was struck by lightning multiple times and can do electrical stuff and phase through walls. And then, oh my gosh, I can see her name. I can't remember her name, but she was playing Yamanaka, who is a cephalist, so she's got mind powers, and the person who made her, Daigo...
Squid?
No, she just has mind powers. It's just, yeah, not necessarily a squid person, but it's just, they're called cephalist. And she has telepathy, and she can hive mind network us together with telepathy, which is cool. And her progenitor, the person who made her, is kind of also stuck in her head. And is also party, and yeah, but he also wants to kill all the bad people too, so it's okay. But that's what's going on Deviant on Sunday. It's been a wild ride, so hopefully my internet pays attention. Nice. Yes, you DC'd every time I had to speak. Yes, it was on time every time. It was terrible. Fortunately, Travis was there to help hype the Occultists Anonymous channel. So it is on Twitch VOD, so any of you who are subscribed, you can go catch up. And then I believe it'll all end up on YouTube later. I hope. Because I'd like to actually watch that first episode. So until next time, guys, when we will continue in Peru, into Kume, into the Atlantean ruins. Bye.
Stay lucky.